You're right in the poppy cycle. Come over here. Hi.
This is as close as I get.
Yeah, you can get that close. Hi. Well, now you're just rolling me out of the screen. Okay. It's Laura's show. Seriously, cables. Sorry. Hi guys, how you doing? So, anyways, hey everybody. Yeah.
We've got
stuff.
million pounds of Perlers here to open up.
Okay, I want to change something over here real quick. I'm just going to go to the crystal overlay that I have. Oh, there we go. That's easier.
What?
Yeah,
that was there an option all along?
It's an option all along. There we go. So now we have a crystal overlay, so that way we're not blocking the pookie.
You just wanted to try and get me as close to you.
I mean, any attempt, yes.
Okay.
So anyways, let's give everybody a few minutes. You're still loading on. So before we get started, hi everybody. How you doing? You doing good? Good.
We have 33 pounds of Perlers to open.
That is correct. We have 33 pounds of Perlers to open.
Wow, I've never made an order this big.
In fact, here, before we open and before we get into all that, actually, we'll wait on even showing the boxes. We'll just wait. We're going to be patient. We're going to give everybody a couple minutes to sort themselves out. Say hey in the comments. Woo! We got the comments up. Say hey.
Happy Friday.
It is Happy Friday. And we're calling this one Perlers Pixel Art and Scotch.
Yes.
So why are we calling it Perlers Pixel Art and Scotch?
Because we have 33 pounds of Perlers.
Yep.
You've got a giant Perler
pixel
that you're going to make.
Yep.
And I have a brand new bottle of Scotch.
That's right. Now tell everybody where this Scotch came from. Why is this Scotch so noteworthy?
It is the first bottle of booze I have ever been given by a coworker as thank you for helping them.
That was a classy gift.
Never had any. They're like, I owe you something. They always say I owe you something.
Right.
But no one ever actually delivers. He actually came to my desk today at 4 o'clock with a bottle of Scotch.
Yes, he did.
So.
And you even told him before, oh yeah, I like Scotches or whiskeys.
I like whiskeys and I like Scotch, and Scotch is whiskey. It's just made in Scotland.
Right. And so, hey, Cat Gangster, how you doing? So here, I want to, by the way, I hope everybody loves my giant coffee mug.
So, yeah. So, and thank you for me helping him with a lot of things that he's learning.
Yep.
And helping his skill development and doing things for him just on the fly, because sometimes it's easier to do it myself.
So, at the very least, if you're going to thank a friend for helping with technology, get them Glen Foundry.
Or ask them what their favorite
what their favorite liquor is. This is oak aged, 12 years, non-chilled, filtered. Very nice.
Yeah, so we're going to taste test it.
Are you going to taste it later?
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's what the Scotch is for.
I just thought you wanted to show off the Scotch. All right, so we've given everybody about 5 minutes. Hopefully, you know, the alerts have gone out and people are starting to go, oh, let's go hang out with Sean and Laura. And if not, that's okay. It's Friday night. We get it. There's stuff to do. First off, let me apologize to everybody. We were going to do this on like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Scotch in the background. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we were going to do this like on Tuesday, Wednesday. And we unfortunately, I personally, got hit with the mother of all migraines. That hit me on Tuesday.
Well, our Perlers only got here today.
True. But I was going to do the Sentinel design on Tuesday or Wednesday. And I got hit with a migraine that laid me out for like 2.5 days straight. Today's the first day where I feel somewhat normal. It was nasty. And I was feeling pretty bad. Laura's like, you got COVID. We can talk about that too. Hey, Laura.
We don't have COVID.
That's right. We don't got COVID. We went and got our PCR test, and we don't got COVID. It took 10 days to get the freaking test because apparently our state is backwards when it comes to arranging them.
Also, because we were at Dragon Con, if you go like the day or two after you go to Dragon Con to get your COVID test,
it's probably not going to show up.
It's not necessarily going to be an accurate test. So
right.
We had to wait a couple days. And
right.
So our test results came back, and we have not got COVID.
That's true.
So
no COVID.
We went to Dragon Con, successfully mingled with thousands of people.
And
did not get sick.
Tens of thousands.
So that is a win in my book, because, you know, paranoia.
Yep.
But that was a win. Didn't even get con crud, but I think that's from masking. So I think a lot of people learned that wearing masks in big crowds at a con might stick around for a while.
Right. Or at the very least, just keep doing all the hand sanding like we did. Because we hand sanded a lot. I think
you're going to see people wearing masks in the next couple of years at cons, just because.
Just to be safe.
No, but it's like every time you go to a con, you come home with con crud.
Right.
And nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
If you wear a mask for a couple hours a day to avoid con crud, I'm all about that.
Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and show them the. I tapped her leg so we could get on to the stuff. She's like, I was subtle. I was nice. What? we have to find ways to signal each other, you know. Apparently that wasn't a good signal.
Like, bitch, shut up.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Okay. Box numero uno.
Oh yeah, okay, so check it out. I was just going to show them the box so you can show them the other box. So this is box number 1 of all the Perlers we ordered. This is the small box, Laura. Just try to pick up the next box.
I'm not picking that up.
Oh, come on.
I'm not picking it up.
Okay, it's like almost, it's twice the size of this thing.
Double that. So we're going to start with this box. I am going to find the package.
The invoice. Okay, so this is a lot of Perlers. We're going to go through. We're going to make sure we got everything. So we're going to see what's up here. Oh, I'm going to need those scissors back. This thing's locked in pretty hard.
I'm looking for the package.
Yeah. So
I got it.
Today is the day. Yep, today is the day.
I wonder if each box has its own packing
slip. It might have its own packing slip, and that's okay. So, in case anybody's curious, this is about $600 worth of Perler beads that we had to order. And that's because we had a lot of custom orders we wanted to do.
$481.89.
Right, but I'm also counting the art cows that we have to order too. Or that we did order that are on the way. Okay, so let's see. Does this also come with its own?
Nope, they're all here.
They're all here. Okay. So, again, let me just kind of like pick this up and kind of show you.
Yep. Let me take this out.
So we're going to make sure we have all of these. Laura, do you have a pen? Do you need a pen?
I have a pen.
You have a pen. Laura has a pen. All right. So we're going to go through these.
Wait,
we're going to make sure.
If I put this on the floor, Sasha might eat it.
She might. And we're going to make sure we have everything that we need.
It fell on the floor.
That we ordered. So there we go. So this is the first box.
Oh my gosh! Wait, we've got.
Do you want to show them all the pages? I don't think there's any of our sensitive information on there, is there? Like our address or anything. Our address is on the front page.
Just our address.
Yeah.
Just our address.
Just our address. You know. So whoops. Hi.
Okay. So I guess they're in no order.
Yeah, they're not going to be in any order, so you're going to have to kind of flip around, okay? So
here we go.
All right, so let's see here. So we got 1 cobalt.
It's out of 4.
Out of 4. All right, let's see. 2 cobalt. Okay, so oh my God, there's a lot here. Okay,
they're in no order.
They're in no order. All right, this is rust. Ooh, rust.
Oh, there'll be 4 bags of that. All
right, this is 1 cran apple. Cran apple. Ooh. Amazingly enough, check this out. Now these are 2. Oh, actually, they come out pretty well. You can see the different colorential. They're the same tone, but one is on the orange side, one is on the red side.
It looks so much lighter on the screen.
They do. That's actually picking up the subtleties of it quite nicely. All right, cheddar. 1, 2.
Whoa. Hold on.
3,
I gotta find cheddar.
4. I got 4 cheddars so far. Cheddar. By the way, anybody who ever wants to know what like one of the best colors in all of Perlerdom is, it's cheddar. Cheddar is amazing. I had 4 cheddars.
2, 3, 4. There should be 7.
Okay, well we're gonna get there.
Start throwing them on the floor.
I don't want to throw them on the floor because then we'll lose them. Gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
Now gingerbread is nice. It looks like a brown, but it has a little bit of an orange hue to it. So. Yeah, see here, I'll show you the difference between orange and or gingerbread and brown. There you go, so you can see. So this is gingerbread, and this is rust. So, all right.
Sasha, you can't possibly see anybody outside.
All right, cran apple. We're just gonna have to ignore. Oh my lord.
They're like you should put the camera down on the box so people can see how they pack $500 worth of Perlers.
Like, okay, am I cups and glasses or anything, or are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to.
It's literally just all thrown into this box, and there's a whole nother box of them too, as equally packed with love.
Oh my lord. Okay, so where are we at? What was the last thing you wrote down? I had 2 more cran apples over here. Or wait.
You should have 2 cran apples over there, period.
I have 2 cran apples, period. Okay, sorry. All right, let's focus. Then I'll get all messed up. Okay, I got some tans here. I got 2 tans.
Hold, please. Hold.
The reason why we're doing this is that we keep getting screwed out of Perlers, so we want to make sure.
They always short me.
They always short us on Perlers. I'm sorry, 3 tan.
3 tan.
3 tan.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Looks like we got roasted marshmallow, toasted marshmallow. It's not quite white. This is what I like to call bone. So this is like a nice bone color. If you ever want to make a bone or something that has like a bone texture to it, let me see if I can get the focus there. This is a really good one. So it's called toasted marshmallow.
Oh, there it is.
All right, let's see here. I'm trying to find light here. Go back and find rust. We got another rust.
Oh, Sasha, wash it.
Gingerbread. Another gingerbread.
Gingerbread. Gingerbread. Gingerbread. Okay.
I'm making you work for it, aren't I?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Cran-apple.
They're not even listed alphabetically.
Oh, this is such a great color. Cran-apple is such a great red. It's a nice dark red. We'll be using a lot of that for that Sentinel.
I think they might be listed in the order you put them in the cart. Nope, they're not even that.
Okay, another tan. Did you get that last cran-apple that I said? No. Instead of trying to figure out their method, like, okay, here, we'll back up for a second.
You have to go slower.
Okay. Well,
you're going too fast.
Okay. I have 3 cran-apples total.
Yes, I have 3 cran-apples.
All right.
I was looking for tan.
4 tan.
4 tan.
4 tan.
Okay.
Laura hates it when we do this. All right, another cheddar. So this should be cheddar number 5.
5. Out of 7.
Out of 7. It looks like they might have actually put these in like the same box. 6.
Okay.
I'm trying to find all the cheddar for you. 7.
7. Woo!
So we confirmed 1 whole one is completely done, yeah?
7 cheddar.
7 cheddar. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right.
So there should be 2 more bags of rust in there. Look for rust.
Looking for rust. Hold on, folks. We're going to find some Rust-Oleum in here. Nope. That's brown. Brown. All right, come on.
Is that it?
Oh, nope, that's brown.
That's light brown.
Yep. 2 hands. No. Let me.
I'm handsome. No. But I'm so handsome.
Okay, we may not have any more rust in here, so let's go to the brown then.
Oh, they lied.
Why not pile them up and count them out while they're all sorted? Because this is more fun and chaotic, and we like this, so we thought it'd be funny to do with you guys.
Don't you like chaos?
Don't you like a little chaos in your Friday nights? Or Saturday mornings, wherever the case may be?
Brown?
That is 1 brown.
There's only 1 brown. Oh wait, no.
This
brown.
is light brown. This is light brown.
Brown was a big bag.
Yeah, that's a big bag. This is light brown.
So I'm looking for light brown.
Yep.
Light brown. Light brown. There's 4 bags of light brown.
Looks like we found 2 so far.
2 bags of light brown.
Right? Yes, that's what that confirmed for you. Yeah. That's confirmed for you. Yes.
Yes, I have 2
Thank you.
brown.
All righty, gingerbread. You know what? If you're gonna make me do this a certain way, you gotta actually use your words. I got 2 more gingerbread.
1, 2. Oh, that's 4. 4 gingerbread. Done.
Oh wait a minute. I'm sorry. I made a goof.
Do I have to get white out now?
It's okay. It's just one of the light browns I thought I had was only 1 light brown and 1 gingerbread. That's the 4 gingerbread. So the gingerbread's good.
Okay.
You're fine on that. Let me go find another light brown here real quick. And
I
then
have 2 light browns checked on here.
2 light browns. There we go. We got 2 light browns.
Oh,
now.
okay.
Okay, now we're good. Okay.
I was about to be like, if I have to go get the white out,
no,
you're getting a spanking on Twitch.
Well, no Twitch spankings, please. I don't know. That might actually get our numbers up. What do you guys say? Should Laura give me a spanking? Comment in the comments. And no, don't do that. Don't. Hold on.
They might vote for yes.
They might vote for yes. I'm sure they will actually. All right.
And then I'll go and get something big, wooden, heavy so that it hurts.
Thanks. Okay, let's find hot salmon or hot. I'm sorry.
Hot.
I'm sorry. No.
Coral.
Not hot. Whoa.
Hot coral.
That's not the color I wanted. Huh. All right, I'll have to deal with that later. Tangerine.
Wait, what about hot coral?
Let's go to hot coral for now.
Okay.
That's all right.
There's 5.
Tangerine. Okay, I'm going to put these tangerines to the side.
Oh, wait, hold on. You ordered 4 tangerines.
Oh, God. These are not what I wanted them to be. This is not the color. Oh, that's annoying.
They changed the color?
Possibly. But that's okay. We'll get to that. Okay, 1 hot coral, 2 hot coral, 3 hot corals. Let's see. That's just straight up orange.
Right there.
What?
At the bottom. Right there.
That's orange. Man, they just threw this in here, but that's okay. Looks like that's all the hot coral we got for now. So I got 3 hot corals here. Okay?
3 hot coral.
Yep. Okay, and we got 3 tangerines, which are going to be sent back for a different shade because this is not the color I wanted. Okay, so in case anybody's curious, they've added on all these new oranges. So there's an orange right here. This is a great orange. It's a mid-between. I believe that's what they used to call tangerine. They might have changed it. That's the new shade. So it does not go with what I need. It is not the right shade. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with there. But I got 3 of those.
You need to get a thingy like this? Like this beautiful card Art Cal has.
Yeah, Art Cal actually has this great thing. So Art Cal actually will send you the bead. So this is Art Cal's. This is everything that Art Cal gives you, and you can actually look up the color and see what it will look like because they take horrible cut photographs of their damn beads.
It's really hard to know what the colors. You know, everyone's monitors are different.
Yeah,
they say that on every website when you order something.
As a designer, I know that, but that's okay.
When you're trying to pick something, it's like buying thread.
It is.
When I'm buying embroidery thread, I end up having to buy 4 colors.
I have 2 oranges here.
Okay, hold on. Let me find an orange.
Okay.
2 orange. Yep. That is correct. 2, and that is a complete.
That's complete?
We have 2.
Woo! All right. Worked up a bit of a sweat here.
You need some scotch.
Nah, I had that coffee, so I'm all warm now. All right, let's see here. We're looking at evergreens, so find the evergreen, please.
3.
All right, well, I found 2 so far. This is way more fun. By the way, if anybody's ever curious what I do when I'm sitting here and I'm just working on this on my own, okay, I got 2 evergreen. This is what I do. So we got 2 evergreen here. It's a nice little, really dark green. Okay, let's go ahead and knock out the kiwi lime.
Hold on. Kiwi lime.
I'll show you guys kiwi lime here in a second.
5. You ordered 5 of those.
Kiwi lime, really nice, light green. This is actually coming off a little bit more prickly pear, but yeah, kiwi lime.
How many?
I got 4 here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep. More. I got 4. That's what I got.
Okay.
Okay.
So close.
So close, yet so far. All right, find the next greens. This is going to be bright green.
Hold on.
And bright green is just a little bit darker than the kiwi, so you can see.
Got it. How many?
I got 3 in my hand.
1, 2, 3.
And that looks like that might be it on the bright greens. Yep, I got 3. Okay. Let's see.
Who's that?
Who pinging me?
It's me. I pinged myself.
Okay. Laura pinged herself. All right, well, let's see. Where are we at next? All right, toothpaste. Toothpaste is a wonderful light blue. I love this type of color. It's really great. Toothpaste is awesome.
4.
Right now I got 2. 3. Got 3. That's what I got in here. 3. Okay. Marking down 3.
Don't yell in my ear.
Sorry. I'm excited.
No.
No. Okay. This is going to be pastel lavender. Pastel lavender. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
Is that actually the name?
Yeah, pastel lavender.
Lavender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. Oh, I found it.
I got 3 in my hand.
And we ordered 3.
All right, so that one's done.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Okay.
By the way, these are sentinel colors. We'll be making sentinels out of this. Okay, next. Looks like we got a darker color here. This is not plum. This is straight up purple. It's just called straight up purple.
Okay.
Ah.
We ordered 4 of those.
Purple. Okay, well, we got 2 so far.
1, 2.
Yeah, that's what we got. All right.
2.
Almost done with this box. We got another cobalt blue.
Cobalt, 3. That's 3.
Okay, out of what?
4.
All right, we're getting closer. Okay, looks like we're up to cherry red. Nope, that's not cherry red. That's raspberry. I apologize.
Raspberry.
Raspberry.
3. You ordered 3.
Well, I got 1 in this box. Yep, 1 in this box.
We have 57 bags.
So there's raspberry for you. So it's a nice kind of reddish purple, reddish pink. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Now this is cherry. We got 1.
Looks like Starburst.
We got 1, 2. I got 3 cherries here. Cherry is a wonderful red. It's a nice dark red.
It literally looks like a Starburst.
But it looks like a Starburst. So it's a nice dark red, but it's not super dark.
It looks like candy.
Okay, and that was 3.
Yep.
Did you get that? Good. All right. Now we're up to pinks. This is straight up light pink. Ladies and gentlemen, light pink.
Light pink.
Woo, light pink.
Is that the actual name?
Light pink is the actual name.
How many bags?
2.
Good. It was all you ordered.
All righty. I've got 1 bubble gum.
Bubble gum. You ordered 2 of those.
I got 1. Okay, I've got 1 prickly pear.
You ordered.
I ordered 3.
That also looks kind of like candy.
Yeah.
It looks like an apple flavored Jolly Rancher.
All right, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Okay, these look like they're going to be light grays.
Light gray. Oh, I got light gray here.
I got 3 light grays here.
And you ordered 3.
All right, so there's 3 light grays, everybody.
Mission successful.
Okay, 3 light grays. And then finally, it looks like I got 3 dark grays here.
Dark gray.
Dark gray.
I ordered 6.
Another fantastic color. Use a shit out of this.
3?
Yep. 2. I got 3 dark grays, and that's the box.
What?
Okay, so that's the box.
So many left.
I know. All right, so that was the first box. Now I can throw these all back in. I'll sort them out and organize them later. Right now we're just confirming that we got them, and we want you guys to be along for this journey. Why? Because it would be weird and funny, and that's our channel.
You should put the box under the table. So
I will.
Throw these in the box too.
I mean, we're going to run out of space, so we'll have to figure out something. But yeah. So, anyways, so this is like 1/3 of the order. So, man, I'm really mad about that tangerine though. I'm gonna have to like get pissed off about that. I'm really mad. All right, I don't.
You need a color chart.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. Well, I usually write down the colors, but that orange is a relatively new one, and then they added on like 2 more oranges, and I got confused. It happens. It's not a big deal. But every once in a while, they'll actually screw up their colors, like when they did tangerine, not tangerine, butterscotch. When they changed butterscotch's actual color, that made me mad. All right, that's all of our shades. Yes. Oh, and this is sand. Yeah, is that sand? That's sand. But this is something I ordered otherwise, but I can put that in here too. All right. So anyways, that's box number 1. Okay. All right. Ready for the big box?
Yes, but I'm not picking it up.
Okay. Big box. Oh, baby Jesus.
Sweet brown buttery baby
Sweet
Jesus.
baby buttery Jesus. Holy moly. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Woo! All right, here we go. I'm just being dramatic, by the way. Okay.
Wow.
Next box. This one is significantly bigger, so it might take a minute to go through all of it. That's okay. All right, I'm going to try to do this in order as best we can. Now, a lot of these are going to have these, what we call these 6,000 bags. So this is 6,000. So I'm going to try to find all the black beads. So this is black beads. Here we go. Oh, hey, there's Ghidorah. Hey, what's up?
Oh, I got it.
What's going on, Ghidorah?
10 of those.
We ordered 10 of these bastards.
There would be 10 of those in there.
Okay, so let's see if we can find them all.
So
1, 2, 3.
Put them on the floor.
4. I just want from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. Dear Lord. Nope, not black. 9. And 10. We got 10. We got 10 black beads. So that's 60,000 black beads.
60,000 black beads.
60,000 black beads. That's a lot of beads, folks. And that was like
at $11 a bag.
Yeah, $11 a bag. All right. Brown, actual straight up brown.
Brown.
Poop brown.
1 bag.
1 bag, 6,000 beads.
Got it.
Done. All right. Next one. This should be light blue beads. Light blue beads, 6,000.
Light. How about dark blue?
Light blue.
You ordered a 6,000 bag of light blue?
Of light blue.
Oh, hold on.
I got dark blue too.
Oh, I see it.
I can do both.
Hold on. 1 light blue. Got it.
1 light blue and 1 dark blue.
And 1 dark blue.
Yo.
Got it.
All right. Excellent. Keeping up with the thousands. White. 6,000.
White. Hold please. Just 1 bag.
Just 1 bag. Well, we already have a lot of white too, so that's okay. All right. Gray. 6,000. I think I actually have 2 of these ordered.
Nope, just 1.
Just 1? Just 1.
One
gray. All right. Dear Lord. Sand. 6,000. I know I'm going to order these.
Yep.
I don't use these all that often.
Just 1.
Huh.
1 yellow.
Haven't gotten there yet. Dark green.
Yep, 1 dark green.
1 dark green. All right. Man, just taking out the thousands has just drained this. Yellow. Oh, look at that yellow. Oh, it's so nice.
1 yellow.
So nice. Almost done sorting through this, guys. All right. There should be at least a red in here, I thought. Yep, there we go.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
Red. 6,000 red. Look at that. Oh, that's a nice red shade too.
One bag of red.
Look at that. That's nice. All right. Okay, I think that's all the 6,000s that I could see.
Yep, that should be all.
Okay, so now we're down to just finishing this off and finding the rest of the pieces here. So, all right, 1 rust. So find the rust for me, please.
Rust.
2 rust.
That's 4. That's done.
4 done. Perfect. All right. Okay, let's see. You want me to go to purple?
Yeah, find 2 more purple.
1 purple. 2 purple.
Excellent.
Done. All right.
Find 1 more bubble gum.
Okay, bubble gum, bubble gum, bubble gum.
Excellent.
Bubble gum.
Find 2 more hot coral.
I think this is hot coral. Hot coral and tangerine. FU. 2 more hot coral. I mean, seriously, look at this. Look at how close these 2 colors are. There is no reason. One is on the orange side of it. One is on the red side of it. But look how close those 2 are. You do not need these 2 shades. So anyways, I also found another tangerine.
Nope, I'm not to tangerine.
Well, then F tangerine. It's a pain in my ass anyway.
2 raspberry.
All right. That should be these guys. Raspberry 1. And raspberry 2.
Okay, that's 3. 3 more dark gray.
No, the packing list is not sorted by item number. Laura can't figure out how their packing list is done. Okay, what was the next one, sweetie?
3 more dark gray.
Dark grays. Dark gray 1, dark gray 2.
It's sorted by bin location, which is their inventory, not me.
So there we go.
1, 2.
So by bin location.
Yep. 3. Cobalt. 1 more.
Cobalt. I see cobalt. Cobalt's right there. What's up, cobalt?
1 more evergreen.
1 more evergreen.
Evergreen.
Okay.
1 more.
Evergreen. Found it. It's a good shade of green. It's a good green.
1 more cherry.
Cherry. Right here. We got a cherry. Boom. Cherry.
2 more cran apples.
Cran apple. Where the little cranny bitches at? Got them.
1, 2.
Cran apple 1. Cran apple 2.
2 prickly pear.
We can see the bottom of the box. Well, prickly pear?
2 more prickly pear.
2 more prickly pear. We got it. 2 more prickly pears.
Excellent. Okay. Oh.
Yep.
2 light brown.
Light brown 1, light brown 2. Easy.
1 more tan.
And there's tan.
Okay. 1 more toothpaste.
Toothpaste.
1 more kiwi.
This should be kiwi. Yep. Kiwi.
2 more bright green.
Which, by the way, if anybody wants to see the difference between bright green and kiwi when they're right next to each other, see how, see, this is just a little bit brighter. This is a little bit paler. That actually works really well when you start to pair them together.
2 more bright green.
We did that.
No, we did kiwi.
And we did 2 bright green. We did 1. We did 1 more kiwi and 2 bright green.
Okay. Well, you didn't tell me you pulled them out of the box.
I did. I did. You just missed it. Okay, but 1 kiwi, 1 extra, and then the 2 bright greens. Yeah.
2 pink.
2 pink, and that should be basically it. Yeah.
1, 2. 2 pink.
Pinks.
And 4 tangerine. One more tangerine.
1 more bitchy tangerine. Ugh.
That's it.
All right. So, are we missing anything?
No.
Oh, that's fantastic. We actually didn't get stiffed.
They actually packed this order correctly.
They packed it correctly, folks. Check that out. Hold on. I'm going to tilt back up here for us. And nope.
Physically shocked because that has only happened a few times when we make a big order that they actually send everything.
I'm amazed and surprised. But, hey, I'll take it.
So, the only thing wrong is tangerine.
These boxes, man. Dear Lord. But this is what you get. So a lot of people are like, well, what are we doing? What's all these beads? Well, obviously we're making orders and we're getting ready for future shows, but we're also making kits. So for all of you who,
kits. We're going to be selling perler bead kits with some of our
older designs,
our retired patterns.
Yep.
And all the beads that you need to make it will be in the bag
with instructions.
With instructions in the pattern. So use your own boards, of course. You're in parchment paper, but all the beads will be sorted by color, and you'll be able to make the pixel yourself. So we've been asked a lot for that over the years, and
since I've been upgrading my style,
so we decided that it would be fun to put kits together. So we have some more beads. This is not actually all the beads we need.
This isn't all the beads.
We have a whole nother batch of beads coming, and then we'll start sorting them out, counting them. We'll look like we're little pharmacists with our little scoopers.
We're actually going to use
weight.
Weight. We're going to do it by weight because the weight is actually an extremely accurate way of doing it.
Each bead color weighs differently, so you have to get the weight of one bead.
All right.
And then tar your scale to that one bead.
I've already done it. It's 2 ounces.
But every bead is different.
No, actually they're not. They're all 2 ounces. So
I would imagine each color would be.
This big one here, I want to kick this one out to you. So if you want to just move that one out the way. All right, so give us 1 second, guys. Be right back. Just going to move this out the way. Enjoy looking at our little look area. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Well, that was a fun adventure. Got the vapors.
Now I'm done for the day.
You're done for the day?
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to hang with me while I do art, or are you going to bail?
Like bail?
Like bail, like not be on camera.
Yes. I don't want to be seen.
You don't want to be seen. All right. Well, here, let me focus up then. And in a minute here, guys, we're going to do some pixel work here.
You'll hear me in the background.
Yeah, you'll hear Laura in the background, but
drinking out of the teacup. I'm gonna put my booze in my teacup.
Okay.
It's completely normal.
It's completely normal.
Let's open this bad boy up. Let's give it a tasty taste.
Okay. Good. Hydrate, folks. Always hydrate.
Yeah. Woohoo! That's how I hydrate.
I still can't believe one of your coworkers gave this to you. So for those of you who came in late, her coworker gave her this for doing awesome work and helping them out. And they keep saying, I'm going to bring you some tasty booze. What do you like? And Laura's like, I like whiskey. So they brought her a Scotch whiskey, a Glenfeldry malt Scotch, single Scotch, 12 years. Very cool. That is a nice present.
Wait.
All right. Ooh, that was a satisfying
pop. Isn't that a satisfying sound?
That was a satisfying sound.
I really like the pop it makes. Here, let's see if we can do it again.
Nice. Could you guys hear that? Could you hear the pop? Hopefully they could hear the pop.
Did that come across on the audio? Because I really love the pop that these bottles make.
Do it again. Nice. That smells pretty good. Okay, so
oak.
That's the Scotch, and those were the Perlers. Now we're going to get to the pixel art. And this is something that people ask me about all the time. How do you make your pixels? And on smaller stuff, it's not really easy to show because I just kind of like do it. But on something the size of what we're going to work on tonight, we're going to be creating a sentinel. And this sentinel is gigantic. And in fact, for you guys to get context here, I need to show you what we're going to be working on. So let me make sure everything's up and running where I need it to be. So bear with me just 1 moment. Yep. All right. Oh, God, that's so nasty. Okay. That's why we're going to do it. So you guys can see how this is going to get done. So if anybody's ever like, oh, well, he just, blah, 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 we're going to show you the process. Our ice dispenser has gotten loud in the last couple of months. All good?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So let me do a share screen here. So bear with me 1 second.
Scotch is good with a little ice in it.
Let me share. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So we're going to go into Photoshop. And people are like, Photoshop? Look, I've been using Photoshop for, okay, how old am I? I'm 43, 30 years. I've been using Photoshop for 30 years. Been a long time. And Laura's doing the booty dance. So yeah, I've been using this since way back in the day. And so that's just what I use. Now, everybody has their own setup, so please forgive me if you're not familiar with what my setup looks like. I'm old school. I've always had what I call a double bar. Most Photoshops look like this. I can't stand it. I like what we call the double bar. So that's what I do. And Laura will probably bring up our Twitch just so she can look at comments or something. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure that out.
I need to do that?
You don't need to do anything, no. But for scale, for those of you who remember, scale-wise, this is what a normal pixel bit from back in the day looks like. So this is a pixel bit, right? And for scale, those little squares, those little checkerboards are what we would call a perler board, which would be one of these guys, right? So this is one of these guys. So this Sentinel, when we're all said and done, he's gonna be that big. He's gonna be a big old chunky boy.
It's gonna be the size of
now,
my house.
You notice that there's all kinds of stuff going on right now, and I was debating on what I was going to show you, what I wasn't going to show you, how I was going to put it together, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to show you the whole kit and caboodle when I'm building something this large. Now, this Sentinel is based on the old Marvel vs. Capcom, or it actually might be X-Men.
Oh, is that what you're doing tonight? You're actually going to pixelate.
I'm going to show them how I make this. Yeah. This actually, it might be based on X-Men: Children of the Atom, the fighting game. But whenever you play the Sentinel, it's only ever its torso. You never see the rest of the Sentinel. So I thought that's a really great place to start. So I shrunk it down to the appropriate size because it was way bigger. And I got it to the appropriate size that would match up with the rest of the cats. And then I realized I've got no legs to work on. Now, I could sketch out the legs, but the problem is that when you're dealing with a scale like this, it helps to have some kind of point of reference. So for me, I like to go and find, it's good? It's good? Is it tasty?
It is. It has a very nice aftertaste.
It's a very nice aftertaste. Hold on. We'll come back to this in a second. Let's go back to Laura for a second. Hi.
Let's see what the box says about the aftertaste. But yeah, it has a really nice aftertaste.
Has a nice aftertaste. So Laura says, yay on the booze.
So if you have a chance to buy that,
Glenfaldry.
Buy it. It has a really nice.
Oh, hey, before we get into like the super stuff.
Long-lasting fruity sweetness. Yeah, definitely. I thought it was fruity. It's good.
You keep talking for a second, Laura.
Yeah, so anyway. Sean, do we owe y'all a puppy cam?
I don't know. You're going to get one
You're
anyway.
going to get one.
It's Sashi! She was sleeping in the bed right behind us. Yes, she was.
Somebody pushed Feed the Dogs a Treat the other day.
Yes, I think it was Callie, and they were asleep.
How about we do it now?
Yeah, so Laura's going to get Corday. Yes, the babies. And then we're going to get into the design portion of this, okay?
Corey's not going to let me pick her up like that, so I'm just going
to I'll pick her up. She'll let me pick her up.
I'm going to give her a treat off cam. We'll just do sachets on cam.
Okay, hold on. We're going to do it. Oh, you're so good. Okay. Here we go. Look,
there you go, Callie. I'm pretty sure it was you the other night.
Pretty sure it was Callie.
I saw it on the notification thing just now when I logged in.
Come here, baby. Come here. It's okay. It's okay.
No, just leave her be. Don't pick her up.
Oh, but people want to see Corday.
Corday is good, but she's...
Watch your feet.
She's a little...
She's older now, so it's okay.
She doesn't want to be picked up. Don't do it. Just let her be.
She's a little bit older now, so...
She tells us what she wants, and she's saying don't do it.
She's saying don't do it. Okay.
We have to respect
We have to respect your oldness. She's almost 16.
Yeah, she'll be 16 in January. And if she wants to be picked up, she lets you. And if she doesn't, she runs away.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have to respect her boundaries because...
But we're going to because Laura's here, and Laura likes me to respect her. We should.
If she says, it's like, if a kid doesn't want to be hugged, don't hug him. But anyway.
So we have a question. Is that Dimitri's legs and cape? Yes, it is. And I'm going to explain why in just a moment here. So wait, hold on. We also have, I'm drinking some Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey.
I actually don't like Kentucky whiskey. I'm going to tell you why. The funny thing is obviously I think when you drink whiskey, you start with like what's easy. Mm-hmm. And everyone said Jack Daniel's, right. Jack Daniel's. But I actually found it too sweet. I found it overpoweringly sweet. And the honey one is so sweet. But you know what it is good in? Is cooking. You cook with the Jack Daniel's honey.
Okay.
You make some amazing caramel candies with it. Huh. Not even kidding.
I didn't know that.
It cooks into things very well. But on its own, I don't like it. Kind of like Crown.
Okay.
I don't like Crown on its own either.
I got you.
It's just too sweet.
You like yours to not be quite as sweet. You like it to be more of a...
This one has a slight sweetness to it, and I think it's what makes the aftertaste really nice. Nice.
All right. Well, Laura's going to drink some booze, and we're going to start working on this. Now, I did have a question, which is that Dimitri's legs and cape? Yes.
I want to say 47.1% alcohol by volume.
Nice.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, you're piecing out on me? Okay. So Laura's going to keep an eye on the chat, so that way I can focus on you guys. So I'll focus here. So Laura she totally just rolled out like, bye, I'm gone.
I'm going to go get my tablet and my keyboardy thing.
Okay, so Laura's going to go get set up. So, but yes, let's go back and we'll start working on this. So let's go ahead and put back on the share. You get a square. They're waving. They're all right. Let's see here. Like, boy. All right. So let's get into this. So we had a question on the board. Is this Dimitri's legs and cape? Yes, it is. And the reason why is because I needed to find something that was comparable in scale and design. But as you can see, it's really pixelated. It's not looking that good. And that's because the size of it when I brought it in, actually, I still might have it in my buffer. Hold on. Let me see. Is it still in my buffer? No, it looks like it's not my buffer anymore. That's okay. Is I have a couple different leg variations here that I was looking at. Well, actually, it looks like they might be almost the same there. And I was just trying out some different stuff. Oh, that one's terrible. And actually, I hate that one. So let's just get rid of that one, like flat out. And I was just trying out some different legs to see what I could do in order to kind of get everything situated. But the problem when you're working in pixel art is everything is algorithmic. So when you're working in an algorithm, it means that if you're going to scale something up or scale something down, it's just going to kind of fill in the blanks, which is why things get fuzzy or they get what they call artifacts, which are not clear pixels that are just trying to fill out what's in there. So me trying to get the right scale, I'm shrinking things down, I'm blowing them up, and I get this really fuzzy look. Now, this is fine for reference, but this is clearly not the final piece. This will not work. I'm going to have to go in. I'm going to have to dig it down. I'm going to have to look at light references. I'm going to have to try to make this stand on its own. So the first thing I have to do is I got to clean this up. I got to get rid of all the crap. So if you've never worked in Photoshop, this isn't going to be a step-by-step on how to work in Photoshop, but what it will be is a step-by-step, at least mentally for me, how I go through my processes. And you can kind of see the work I go into something when I'm building it for you. So right now, and again, I'll design until I get tired of talking, and then I'll hang it up for the night, and then I'll finish it up later. I might get it done tonight because, quite frankly, it's only like 7 or 8 colors, so I could be able to knock this out pretty quick. But we're going to go ahead and start cleaning this up. So I'm going to go to my Dimitri leg layer, and I'm going to just kind of zoom in. In fact, we don't even need to see the top part of the Sentinel right now. We just need to focus on this. So I'm just going to kind of zoom in here. And just to make things easier, because I'm old hat at this, I can actually do this without needing all my quick keys. So I'm just going to quickly start to go through and erase this. And here, while I'm looking real quick, let me go back over and see if I have any questions. I'll try to keep an eye on the...
I'm almost done.
Okay, so, all right. So
my tablet was actually dead, so it's taking a second to reload.
All right, let's see. I'm going to try to... There we go. I want to make that big. All right, stepped away, saw his legs. It scared me for a second. I thought that was where we're going. No, not where we're going with. All right, so that should be a good size. So I want to be really tiny in the corner so that way you guys can focus on the artwork here, and then we can kind of go back. So I want to go back over here. All right, there we go. So right now I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to make this full screen so you guys can get the full effect. And I'm just going to start to kind of get rid of what I need to get rid of here. So if anybody's curious, I'm using a trackpad right now. I have trained with mouse pads. I have trained with trackpads. I have trained with pens. If it can plug into a computer, I can use it. Laura loves to give me grief when I talk about how I was trained. And this is probably the most applicable time to ever talk about this. But when I was in high school, I actually got a commercial design degree from our local technical college. And then from there, I went to the Savannah College of Art and Design, and my specialty throughout all of it was Photoshop. So I've been using Photoshop for 3 decades. And I say that out loud, it makes me feel old as hell, but it's true. I've been using it since around 1990, 1991. So it's been right at 30 years. So there's a lot of stuff I do. It's old school, it's old hat, but it works. And that's one of the things I love about Photoshop is when you know how to do something in Photoshop, that will almost always apply. They might find quote unquote better ways, or they might find ways that are faster. But one thing I love is that they never get rid of really good ways of just creating artwork. So for me, I have my methods, I have my methodologies, and they work for me. They may have different methodologies for you, but that's okay. Find what works best for you. And one of the things that I was taught was to try to always have backups. Always have the ability to go back and look at your artwork and see what's happening. Now, if I was being a real good student of my mentor, I would have made this into a mask. But because I know I'm getting rid of all this, I'm not masking, I'm just deleting flat out. But right now all I'm doing is I'm just cleaning up the edges of this. And as you can see, it's a dirty edge.
No, if you were truly being homage, you would do Targa.
Well, Targa would be the save file type. Masking is what you would do in order to make the Targa. But yes, you're right. My final file type would be a Targa. Which is a type of video file. PNGs are basically what we use now instead of Targas, because they can also handle animations and other stuff. But back in the day, we used to have Targa. Targa files were the absolute pinnacle of what we could do. So right now I'm just erasing stuff. And you might be going, well, how the hell do you know what you're looking at? Well, I know what his legs look like. So I'm just kind of getting rid of all of this. And you might notice that I'm not really being too discriminant on what I'm getting rid of. You know, if I get rid of a pixel or two that I don't need, I can go back. But really right now, we're just getting a sense of the scale of everything, just so that way I can start to get rid of stuff. But no, to answer Callie's question from before, because I don't have my chat screen up right now, no, these are not the legs that we're going with as far as what they're going to finally look like. That would be horrible and terrible, and I would hate that. We're actually going to be using this as a reference point, and then we're going to completely redo them. I'm not sure if you're familiar or if people are familiar with what a sentinel's legs look like, but they're very muscular like humans until you get below the kneecaps. And then they kind of look like Mega Man's legs. They kind of become like these just kind of cylinders right until you get to about the ankle area, and then they look like a boot at the bottom. So I need something that has a good developed upper leg, but then I can kind of ignore the calf area until I get down to the ankle and to the heel and foot area. So for me, I really want to have a nice stylized foot, and I want to have a really nice stylized leg. So for those of you who are going like, well, why did he go with Dimitri from Dogstalkers? Well, there's your answer. This guy, he got some nice looking legs. Look at that. That's a nice looking leg right there. And as you can see, it's not a very clean look. This is not beautiful, and that's okay. We're not to that point yet. We're just cleaning up. And here, let me go back and see what's going on with everybody else. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I can hide you. I don't need you right now. What are you doing? She's being mischievous. You know she is. Let's see here. Nope. All right, good deal. Just want to make sure. Going back in.
Eat napkins.
She going after a napkin?
You learned that from your sister. Or they taught you that bad habit.
Apparently, Sasha is eating a napkin.
Yep. Sure was. She was just sitting down there chewing the thing to happen.
So one thing that we're doing that's very different for this because of scale is we're actually not going to be building a classic pixel bit base. And that's because this thing's way too big. In years past, I would have made a completely pixelized base and support system. But the problem I have discovered is that these things get so big, they're so bogged down in their own size that in order to give them a really good, secure method, I'm actually just going to use real hardware. So I'm actually going to just go and get like a dowel. And it's going to have something that's going to hook onto. So that way this thing can just be held up by this dowel that will then go into a nice just circular base. And it will hold it up. And it won't look as fancy. Well, I wouldn't say, actually, I think it'll look fancier than our traditional pixel base. But it'll be a lot more stable. It'll be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Stable, basically. It'll be a lot more stable, and I think a lot more aesthetically pleasing than a couple of pixel rows that are going to go behind it. So like if I ever do like another Ghidorah, or if I do like a Godzilla or something, this will be what I'll be using going forward on the really big pieces, just because I feel it'll give it a little bit more stability and it'll give it a little bit more of an aesthetic. Even though I know people love those pixel bases and those support mechanisms, I'm trying to find stuff that'll make this just a little bit easier on us. But that's okay, because these are all works in progress, and as an artist, I reserve the right to improve my style. And since this bad boy is going to be ginormous, I figured this would be a great time to use that new methodology. The closest I did prior to this was a princess castle that I had made for a couple. They wanted a Disney castle that was really cool. However, I had to use guidelines in order to make that secure. And I was like, I think there's a better way of doing this. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. All right, we got some right here on the butt.
Sasha, look at you, little lush.
Sasha's going for the booze. All right.
There's nothing in there. It's just an empty thing now.
Yeah, but she likes to smell, so.
It smells like a different person.
It probably does, yeah. Probably smells like your coworker, right?
Probably. He was in his car all day. Sasha. No.
All righty. So now that we've got that all done, we can start to kind of look and see what we got here. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to pull back up the other parts here real quick, and we're going to just take a look at it. We're going to kind of see, and you know what? We're getting close. I think we're getting pretty into the ballpark here. One of the things that's a little difficult about when you're working on this is trying to make sure you have the right scale. So one thing I like to do once I get this is I like to kind of play around with my dimensions and just kind of see where everything's going to sit and land. So if I'm looking at him, this is his chest. I know he's got a torso that'll go right about to here, and then he's going to have his forgive the term, groin region. That looks accurate. So the thing that's throwing us off right now is this back leg. So this back leg needs a little work here, and this is where we have to start getting creative, because one thing that we want is we want everything to be flush with the ground, right? Which means that these feet need to match up. Now I can do one of two things. I can either make this leg shorter, this leg on the right shorter, or I can make the leg on the left larger. So in my mind, the easier thing to do is to make the leg on the left larger. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to basically replicate. I'm going to cut and chop and control it a little bit, and then we're going to start to flesh it out. This is just like any time that you're using 3D Studio Max, Maya, Blender, any kind of carving program. You can basically add or subtract to it.
Do people still use those?
Absolutely, they still use those.
Really?
Lightwave maybe not so much anymore, but I know 3D Studio Max, Maya, and Blender are still used quite frequently. Maya is still a pretty big industry standard. So, but anyway, so we're just going to kind of build out from this a little bit. And if anybody's curious, there's a lot of ways we can do this, and let me show you. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys an idea of what we could do here. So one thing I could do is I could literally just, and I'm going to turn this top part off here.
It just says mirror the other leg.
No, absolutely not mirror the other leg. And here, I'll show you why. Hold on. So here's where years of experience pays off of how to do it. You guys have no idea the crap that I've had to pull in my years of doing work for movies and well, like made for like TV movies and stuff, and doing like specials and graphics packages and whatnot. And we're talking all kinds of wacky stuff. All right, so let me show you real quick. All right, so let's say we decided to mirror this other leg, right? So we're going to do that, and and people are probably going like, what in the hell is he doing? Just trust me, it'll all make sense in a minute here. Don't need this anymore, go away. All right, thank you. And we don't need you anymore, go away, thank you. All right, and then we're going to look at this, and we're going to say, okay.
They use Photoshop, they might know.
I mean, you might know what I'm doing, I don't know. But so if we mirror this, that's what you're going to get. So that's going to make, and here, let's just give you the full effect. The Sentinel's got to pee. Do we really want to make the Sentinel look like he's got to pee?
I can't see it. One leg is missing.
So here, let me hold on. Do we really want to make the Sentinel look like he has to pee here, people?
All I see is one leg.
It'll come up. You can't see both legs sitting right next to each other?
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
He does have to pee.
He looks like he's got to pee. It don't work. It's not going to work, okay? So
okay, they said they know it, but they wanted to see it.
It's like it's not going to work, right? It's just not going to work. So this is not here. Let's just full screen that for a second so you can really get the effect.
No,
look at that.
I think that's the way to go.
Okay, so Callie, do you want your Sentinel to have to pee? Is this here? Hold on.
100%, and his upper body should remain in that same position.
So should he have to pee? So does the Sentinel be afraid? Like, no! Here, hold on. We can bring his leg a little bit more.
But the toilet
should it be like this, where he's like, no!
It's a really dirty bathroom, but he really has to pee. But he's like, I'm not going in there.
I'm not going to pee in there. I'm not going to pee. Like, he wants to pee on Wolverine, but he's afraid to pee on Wolverine.
Pee on Wolverine.
You don't never pee on Wolverine. Like, that's just the rule, right, people? Anyways, let me.
I would pee on Wolverine.
Let's just, let me put this back. All right. Anyways, so let me go back over here now, and we'll.
No, you just leave it that way forever.
No. All right. So, anyways, so we can see what's going on there. So that's not going to work, right? So we need to go ahead and have these separated out. So what I've done is I've separated out these two leg elements. So we have the back leg and the front leg now. And what I can do is I can just kind of mess around with the front leg now, and I just kind of play around with it a bit. And I'm holding my shift button, and I forgot that. Hold on, actually, I need to. If I remember correctly, hold on. I'm pulling up my. Where is my dang stupid? Where the use legacy free transform? Thank you. All right. So now, oh wait, I have to actually close the program to make that apply, don't I? No, I don't. Yay! All right.
Sweet.
So yeah, legacy basically means I'm using where I have to hold shift. All right, so that looks a little ganky, but that's okay. We're just going to do this. Boop, pop it behind there, and then we can kind of.
When you had the legs together, it looked like he had to. I think Callie just came in and didn't realize that.
And that was the whole thing that we were doing. Yeah.
That's the whole thing we were doing.
We were doing that.
It looked like it had to be.
See what happens when you're not paying attention, Callie? Yeah,
Callie
we were just. You weren't paying attention, Callie. That's what it was. That's okay. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting his legs scaled up a bit. And we're just kind of taking a look at it. And we're just going to kind of sit here and look. And we're going to kind of take a look at it here and kind of figure this out. Now, one thing that's weird about Dimitri's pose is that front leg is giving me pause. It doesn't quite land the way I want it to. It looks like the Sentinel's kind of doing a pirouette. but at the same time, it is fairly accurate to where I'm trying to go. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm just going to try to play around with the posing here just a bit. And actually, that works.
She's at a family thing.
A family thing, huh? Well, that's fair.
You're always at a family thing.
You are always at a family thing. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of move this around until we can kind of see. I feel like that's getting pretty close to what I'm looking for. Because we got to make the torso feel like he's leaning a bit because the character is leaning. There are other legs that I chose here. I can even show you some of the other legs. I think, did I leave the little standing legs in here? Oh, let me see.
Show me the other legs.
Nope, those are gone. Let me see. I can actually just
skinny little legs.
So this is, by the way, this is the file I was looking at just to kind of look at some of his legs real quick. So here we'll kind of look at him.
Cat Gangster says it looks like they're tiptoeing. He's tiptoeing.
Well, I mean, when I finish, he'll have like a flat foot, so it'll flatten out a bit. But yeah, see, I could go. So it's going to take you guys a second to see this, but I could do one like we could try to take the. We could give him kind of like ballerina legs where like we're really focusing on the butt. Like we could give him just like the cutest little sentinel booty. I don't think that's really the way to go. So we're gonna skip past that.
I want to see some skinny, tiny little legs that just don't fit the body. Yes, yes, yes.
We're not gonna do that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Like Sailor Moon meets Marvel.
No, I'm just taking a look here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything that would be more appropriate. Because you see, like the standing wide, and I mean, we could try the standing wide, but I just don't think it's going to work. But here, let's see. Let's just take a look here real quick.
Okay, you know it's not. So don't.
No. You haven't seen you haven't seen this leg yet here, so you haven't seen this. But I don't think this is going to work.
You
but
are kissing fool tonight, little girl. Yes, you are.
So we're going to just quickly take a look at this.
Callie says dancing sentinel.
Yeah, see that I can even just tell you just by putting it right here before I even try to scale it up, it's not going to work because it's not the right angle. So that's not going to work.
Cat Gangster says
10,000%. What with the dancing pirouette? I mean, Callie, if you want a pirouette sentinel, I'll make a pirouette sentinel.
He looks like all my pose.
So, but here, let's just kind of. So right now, again, I'm just looking for reference here. Let's see.
The lower legs don't match the upper body.
Oh, of course they don't match the upper body.
You wanted him to be out of angle like that.
That's the problem, is that the sentinel reference is too damn good. So the top is driving what the bottom is going to look like.
Yeah, so the legs have to match that pose.
Yeah, the legs have to match that pose.
They really kind of have to be in that forward step kind of motion.
Which is my thought too. Okay, so that's not going to work. All right, but here, let me look at one other thing. Let's see. We have a couple of other. Hold on. I have a couple of other. We can look at all these real quick, and we can see what we got. All right. So let's see here. All right. Now, I was actually thinking about using a Magneto from an old NES game here. I thought this might work, but...
I call those power-proof clouds back there.
Power-proof clouds?
Yeah, it was all the bang, boom clouds in the background.
Oh, you mean all this? The little special effects and stuff?
Yeah.
So maybe I could get away with something like this. I'm not sure. But see, the problem is that this is really small. So the scale up is going to be atrocious, which is fine, but because we're going to redo it anyways. But let's see here. So, and by the way, this is just me to show you guys, because people go like, oh, well, it can't be too hard to make like a pixel. You have no idea. It takes a lot of kind of ingenuity to kind of come up with your own little thing.
Standing with his legs like that would also work. But I kind of feel like that forward stance, like what
I had.
I'm seeing you also showing right now, looks very similar. Except that his foot looks just a little bit flatter, but you could flatten it out with your design.
With my flatness. All right, so we're gonna. Ooh.
I think I do kind of like how the legs are elongated rather than crouching.
But you see, here's the problem, though. You see, now as soon as I put that here, now this is a scale issue at this point. So let's take a look here. So. That actually kind of works. And again, this isn't the final product. This is just me getting a good idea of sense of scale. That actually kind of works. Now that I look at it.
I actually really like those legs better than the...
That's just because they're already colored. I was going to recolor them all anyway, so it doesn't really matter what the color was because they're all going to get reshaded.
Better than the squat pose, but I mean, ultimately, it's up to Callie.
It is up to Callie.
She says, I like that. So are you referring to the straighter legs, Callie? what we're looking at right now.
Because again, when I'm done, I'm gonna have to. And actually, you know what I gotta do?
Let me give her a second to respond before you do anything.
Well, I'm tweaking as I tweak now, so I'm just doing my thing. So I need to make these a little bit
But
thicker.
I think I really do like those legs better. For myself. If I do say so myself.
If you do say so.
If I say so myself. I think you made a good decision with them legs.
They can't get me for whistling, can they?
I don't think so.
If they do, they're jerks.
I don't think you can get a copyright strike for whistling, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure either. All right, so let's take a look at that. Now, again, this is blurry, and this is not what the final look will be.
Oh my gosh, now it's like that Ninja Turtle monster who wore the head in his crotch. Here comes
Krang.
the sun. Go.
Hey, somebody actually figured out what the song I was whistling.
Oh, copyright strike.
Damn, you guys.
Whistling.
Man, that was quick. All right, what else did I have in here? Hold on. I'm looking at my other pixels that I did. Okay, that was another Dimitri. Let me see what else did I have in here.
I'm waiting for the courier to show up right now.
So here was one that I was almost going to use, but I felt that the legs were actually too chunky. So I was thinking of using like a Blackheart from Marvel vs. Capcom, but ultimately I felt that it was a little just too chunky. And then there was even a point where I was going to use
chunk shame him.
I was going to do Birdie. I thought Birdie might have the right thickness of legs, but I didn't like any of the poses. It felt like he was too I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is. It felt too bottom heavy, I guess, on this one. So I decided to stick with kind of like that. So let's see here. So yeah. So I'm actually kind of thinking maybe the Magneto might be the best way to go. Back to our super large. Okay, so I need a vote for Callie here. Callie.
She hasn't responded, but she did say I like that when you were putting those legs on.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume that she likes those legs.
All right, so then I might use this as a little bit of a reference for the foot here on the back side, just to kind of flesh out that foot, because I'm thinking maybe it might twist a little, but that's okay. We can figure that out.
Oh, no, ma'am. I shut the blinds because it's nighttime. All
We're
done.
going to do that there. Yep. All right, cool. So I'm thinking that might be where we're going to go. I'm thinking that might be it. Let's see here.
You're a sweet baby, and I love you. But all
there it is. I think I just found my scale. And then just bring it just down a hair. Yeah, that's feeling right. This is one of the trickier parts, is figuring out exactly where the end point is for this. And I'm feeling that that's it. Okay, so now I need a vote on this one. And here, I'll send Callie a message too to just go back and check it out real quick. So hold on a second. Let me just...
Callie, look at your screen.
Girl,
Callie,
boy. Check your screen real quick. All right, so hopefully she'll jump on real quick. But so what do you guys think? I think this is actually a pretty good match up, and then I can square out or kind of.
Maybe you should show people what a Sentinel looks like.
Sure.
Because some people may not
know what a Sentinel looks like.
When you're putting all these body parts together. Frankensteining your.
Well, I mean that's what I do is I Frankenstein. Yeah.
Scale,
so.
But they may not know what you're making. Washay. Oh, you're so cute.
Yeah, Sasha's definitely wants some attention, which is fine.
I like this matchup.
Is that Callie? All right.
Yes. I like this matchup. That is an official affirmative vote from Callie.
From the person who's paying for it, so that's
what matters. The mostest of all the mostest.
Wow, like you guys are not even hold on. Google sucks at showing me Sentinel artwork. What the hell? It wants to show me like modern Sentinels. I'm like, that's not what we're going for. We're going for classic Sentinels here. You would think something that we see like a million times that would show us what a. Okay, hold on. We'll try it this way. We'll try just some Marvel Sentinel art. All right, let's see here. Crap. Oh crap.
I love your floopy ears.
Wow.
I love your floopy ears. Yes.
Let's try this. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find some, because I don't want you to see all this other crappy artwork here. It's really bad.
Maybe Google the artist who did the original Sentinel art and type in their name in Sentinel.
Maybe. That sounds like me having to brain a little bit more than I got right now. So
yes, you have to brain.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm good not braining right now. All right, let's try 70s. It's weird. I can find Sentinels, but I can't find their damn feet. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, boom. This is a little bit more modern, but yeah, that's basically what we're looking at here.
No sweet baby.
Give me a moment. It is literally almost 9 o'clock at night. There is no light outside, and these kids are going nuts in our backyard.
It's making Sasha crazy. Sasha loves outside and kids.
She does.
She knows they run around and do everything she likes to do, which is run around. Oh my God, there she goes.
Sasha, no.
There she goes through the blinds.
Stop it. All right, here, let me pull up a Sentinel now for you guys so you can see what the heck I'm looking at. Where the heck was it? There we go.
I love you. I love you.
So this is basically what a Sentinel looks like. So let this all kind of like zoom in, but you can kind of look at the feet here. The feet are really just kind of chunky, like Galactus boots.
Cat Gangster says their favorite Sentinel is the animated X-Men show.
And that's basically the one we're going for. This is pretty much what that looks like. Sasha, stop it.
Stop it, Wate.
Now you are showing your booty. You need to stop. No, no. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Go on.
Go lay down.
Go lay down.
Go lay down. Lay down.
Lay down.
Oh, there it is.
We're having to be terrible parents right now.
It looks like he's wearing Uggs.
I mean, that's not an unfair comparison. But yeah, this is what a Sentinel, this is what we're going for, right? This is the, would you shut up?
Don't talk to her that way.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You sit with me, okay? Come on. Okay, so Sasha is now my co-pilot. All right, good, good. So yeah, so now I think, I know, now you're stuck with me.
Now Sasha's jealous. I mean, Courtney's jealous.
So I'm thinking we're getting pretty close here for what we're trying to go for. Okay. Boop, good girl. All right.
Cat Gangster also says they change size so much in the show.
Oh my God, do they change size? They go from being gigantic to small, and
No baby.
She is being a little tutor. So let's see here. All right. So now we got all that. I think we're in a pretty good shape to go ahead and start to build this out.
Come here, sweet baby.
But yeah, they do. They change so much in the show. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to try to figure out how we're going to put the finished design on this. So go ahead, sweetie.
I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to capture you. I'm coming to get you.
Okay, so there's a thing going on around here, so we're just going to let this happen, and then we're going to get back to it. So hold on.
Stop.
Here, we'll do this for a second.
Stop moving.
Hi, everybody.
Stop moving.
So Laura's trying to catch the dogs because the dogs are acting crazy.
Okay, come here. Let's look out the window. Come on. Can you go pee-pee? Go pee-pee. Go pee-pee.
And here, we're going to quickly kind of... Oh, God, that was a horrible light shift up. Hold on. Yeah, see? Like, this is the feet. Like, the feet are just terrible. They're terrible feet. They're terrible, horrible feet, and I hate them. You don't love the shoulder caps? This is just their stylized version of the arm, and honestly, it's like a lifesaver when it's putting this all together. And so, like, we'll blend it in.
There's like 20 kids out there next door. Like, it's next door.
Uh-huh.
There's like...
Rose and James?
Yes.
Okay.
There's like 20 kids. And they're like, is that Sash? Is that Sash?
They know our dog. So, but yeah, anyway, so like I was saying, so the actual shoulder pauldrons, when you build School of Rock moment, you're tacky. I hate you about the feet. Yeah, we're going to get everything lined up.
He's wearing Uggs.
He is kind of wearing Uggs. So, but we're going to get this all worked in. So let me put this back down this way, and let's go ahead and start to take a look at this. So now that we have an idea of what's going on, this is the only problem about showing people how you do the process, because you get commentary the whole time. And then you're like, oh God.
That was your boots, not Uggs.
So what we're going to do.
They will be Uggs.
Ugh, it's terrible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start to like just kind of fix everything the way we need to make it look. So since this is all going to be kind of patchwork together, taking a look at the feet, and I'm feeling I like the length of this back leg just a little bit more than the front leg. So I'm going to just, we're going to start to edit this stuff out. So right now all I'm doing is I'm just doing big globby edits. And by globby, I mean we're not going for perfection here. We're just going for a nice merging, and then I can fix it all here. I can see there's a rough line there. When I'm done, you won't see that anymore. It'll be good. In fact, let's go ahead and pull down a guideline just so we can start to see where we want to go. And let's see here. So we've got about 4 more pixels worth of difference here. And we can get rid of some of that by just simply flattening out part of this foot. So just simply grabbing that and then.
Callie says she 100% trusts your process.
So there we go. We're getting pretty close now. We're getting pretty good. And I think in this particular situation, I think we're almost where we need to be. I want to bring up this back just a little bit.
Just the two of us. Oh, wait. You weren't going to sing.
I wasn't, but you can sing. That's all right. All right. And I'm starting to feel that that's about where I want it to be. Actually, it might have been a little too much. So let's cut that in half. And Laura is trying to distract me with her feminine wiles.
No, I'm not. I have no feminine wiles.
Well, that's not true at all. All right, so now
wiles.
I just have wiles. So that is feeling pretty good when I'm looking at what I'm looking at here. And I'm feeling that's going to work out quite nicely. So we can start to move them around a little bit. Yeah, that's going to work nicely. It's a nice scale. He should be able to pick up a figure. He should look like his hand should be able to wrap around one of them. That's a good scale to this. So now what we got to do is we got to go through, we got to plot all this out. Now this is where things get a little tedious. And again, at some point I might just get really quiet and just keep working. But what we're looking at right now here, I'm actually going to go full screen. We're going to talk for a second here. We're going to just kind of. Okay, so what's going to happen now is we've gotten to the point where we know the scale of the character. We know more or less what it's going to look like, where the lights are going to be. We know what the general shape is. But as you can see, it is not a crisp figure. There's no detail there. There's not a lot for me to work on. So what I have to do now is I have to go through, and first thing I have to do is I have to do what I call an outline. So the outline is me using black beads, basically the color black. And we're going to figure out where the hand's going to go, how it's going to look. We're going to basically sketch this thing out in black. When I normally do this, I tend to kind of paint in a really weird, hyper obnoxious color. So normally like a super neon green or a super neon pink. Since neon pink is not really going to work here, since there's actually pink and purples and reds in the design, we're going to go with a neon green. It can hurt your eyes after a while, okay? So if you got to blink or look away and just listen, that's okay. But we're going to just start to go through and start to sketch this out. This is not a refined process. We're going to go through, we're going to look at it, we're going to say that looks good, nope, this looks bad, we're going to come back, we're going to continue, we're going to morph back and forth until we get just right locked down. Now, in general, when I do this, this process can take days. I'll work on it for 30 minutes, say my brain can't work it out, and I'll walk away from it. I'm going to keep pushing as long as I can so you guys can see the process of it. But when you order something, I say challenge me, know that sometimes it takes me 4, maybe 5 days of working on it for 20 minutes, coming back. There have been the outliers where it's taken me upwards of 6 weeks to really get it. Like because I'll tell people, oh yeah, this took me like 5 times to design. That's because I've designed it all the way out. I hate it, and then I strip it down and I rebuild it again. So when I'm doing these designs for you, this is what I'm going through. And I try to treat every process the same way because I want every single one to be perfection, or at least as perfect as I can make it at that time. So that's what we're about to go through here. So we're going to go ahead and go back to full screen. And we're going to go ahead and start to sketch this bad boy out. So at this particular point, I'm feeling pretty good about everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and make a folder. I'm going to put all this in there because I don't need it anymore. So this is just what I'm going to call parts. Parts are just the parts. All right, Wolverine is over here. We'll call him Wolverine. All right, this is just going to be called the reference layer. And here, you guys don't really need to see me while I'm doing this. I'm going to go full screen on me here. So hold on. There we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and let you guys see this as close as possible. So like I said, we got the Wolverine. If I need to turn it back on, I can. But really what I want to do right now is I really want to focus on what we're looking at here. So we're going to start to just kind of look around, and we're going to just see where the fuzziness is going. And when I say where the fuzziness is going is I like to zoom in, and I like to kind of take a look at where the pixels are falling. So I can see that this area is the face. I can see these got like a chin strap. I can see these got a little headpiece. And this is where coming back and looking at references is really good. You can kind of go like, okay, I can see what's going on there. Or I can go over here and I can say, okay, I can kind of see what's happening. And I can just kind of start to envision where I can put those pieces in this design. Now, the one difference is the shoulder pauldrons. Now, this is because when they designed the video game, they had to make the Sentinel so large, they needed a way for the arm to move, but they didn't want to animate every single frame of the arm. So what they do is they make this big, round, circular joint, so that way when the arm moves, it can cover up the slight misalignments that'll happen when the arm has to kind of move on a hinge. So I like that. I really like that design. I've always thought that was a more elegant look because it looks a little bit more machine-like.
Callie said she doesn't like the shoulder caps, though.
So, and I know Callie said she doesn't like the shoulder caps, but she also said she 100% trusts the process. So in this particular instance, I'm going to let Callie see what the final piece is before we make it. So, and we'll kind of go back and forth on this one, but I think she'll like it when I get done with it. But if not, then I'll take them down. I'll sculpt out the shoulders a little bit more. But so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to keep it like this. So as you can see, the arms are going to be like this reddish pink. The helmet's going to be reddish pink. The legs will be reddish pink. And then he's going to have purple chest, gloves, and the boot area. So we're going to kind of just keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and make a layer. And we're just going to call this one outline for now. And we're going to go ahead and pick up just an obnoxious color here.
Giant robot Uggs.
We'll get to the giant robot Uggs. And we're going to make sure that we're painting. Okay, so now one problem that I have is I'm using a green background, so I need to change that. Oh, that's a horrible color too. Let's make this a color that's more like palatable to our eyes here. So we're going to go with like a nice soft blue. There we go, that's better. All right, so now that I've done that, I can pop that back, and we're going to get back over here to the outline. So what I'm doing right now is I just want to really take a look at the design and figure out where the most important parts are. Now you're going to see a lot of what we call dithering. Dithering is the effect of what happens when you're bringing something up. It's also known as aliasing. It's going to take a pixel and it's going to try to say, well, I know it's supposed to be black, but since you're making it 3 times as large, I'm going to have this one bead be almost black, and then a couple of beads around it or pixels around it be semi-transparent. So you get this really kind of weird, kind of semi-transparent look to these fingers and whatnot. Not great for us as designers because we don't have semi-transparent beads. We either have them or we don't. But what this does give me is it gives me an idea of where I can actually paint the black outline around the hand and still have detail so I can paint in those darker colors. So again, we're just going to use this as a point of reference. Nothing here is permanent. That's the beautiful part about this. I can work on it, and if I hate it, I can come back and I can undo it. So we're going to go a little Bob Ross here. There are no accidents. There are no mistakes. Only happy accidents. So we're just kind of painting out some trees here. We're just going to have some fun with it.
Happy little trees. Happy
little trees. Happy little sentinels. You know, so we're just going to sentinel this bad boy up.
Robot?
He is a robot. He's
happy little robot.
Happy little robots.
Excuse me.
What's up?
I'm coming this way.
Okay.
Come sit in my chair.
Okay. Come sit in the chair.
Do getters.
All right.
Do some things of great importance.
You just got very southern in all of that. Great importance.
If you didn't realize that was intentional.
It was intentional. I heard it.
I can't help you. Ow!
You okay?
Yes. Everything's fine.
And so at this particular point, it's going to be more or less, and I might get quiet here, and if I do, I apologize. I'm just working while I'm doing this. I've never had to try to talk to people while I use this part of my brain. Like normally when I'm talking to you guys, this is already all worked out. So I don't have to worry about thinking, but I'm actually really trying to figure out where I'm going to put things. So I'm trying to just kind of slowly grok out what I feel is the best look. And chances are I'm going to go back and I'm going to tweak this a few more times, but it gives you an idea of what the heck is going on. And that's the fun part about pixel design, is that there is no right or wrong answer. It's just what you feel is best for this particular character, which is why I'll go back a year, 2 years later, and then I'll take another stab at a design, and then I get happy with the new design because I'm like, okay, that looks way better. Which is how we've gotten to the point where I've made so many designs that I can now go back and start selling off these older pieces as kits because I'm not using that one anymore. I'm just like, okay, we're past that. We've evolved the style, so we can now say, okay, let's show you this instead. So it's really just a nice way of continuing to challenge yourself and to make that something that you can improve and improve and improve. And in this particular case, I can see I screwed that up, so we'll just whoop, my eraser's way too big. All right, we'll just shrink that down. Man, those kids are loud tonight.
I mean, they usually always are.
I know, but not at 9 o'clock at night. By this point, usually they're home.
Right?
Hopefully, I don't know. I'm actually kind of afraid that something's going on with Rose and James. Like maybe like somebody, and hopefully it's like an anniversary or something. They do a lot of anniversaries and stuff. So
maybe it's somebody's birthday.
Maybe it's somebody's birthday or something. So let's hope it's a birthday or something like that, and nothing serious, because they've had some heartbreak over the last few years. So hopefully there's nothing too terrible. So then what I'll do is I'll stop and I'll zoom out, and then what I'll do is I'll just turn this off and I'll just look at it on its own. And this is where I start to realize if I've done a decent job or not. So if I could just look at this, and I know that's hard to look at, I apologize. So let's try it with the little pink. There we go. That's a little bit better. So if I could just look at this and go, okay, am I happy with that? And remembering the scale, and remembering that I'm going to flesh this out with color on the inside of it, if I'm happy and say, okay, that looks like a hand, then I can go like, all right, let's keep on going. Let's see what's happening here. So I'm feeling pretty decent about that. This is an open palmed hand with a laser beam that's going to come out of it. I'm going to color this with some kind of like laser light, so it's going to have like a glow and stuff. So I'm feeling pretty good about just where that is forming, and we can kind of keep on playing around there. Now, every once in a while, I might want to really show that there's a connection between the wrist and the elbows. And with most Sentinels, it looks like they have like a real thick forearm. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm actually going to multiply out the thickness of this particular line.
Will you come in my pen?
Just so I can make that really thick. Hold on. You got it?
I'm not open.
Okay, so Laura asked me to throw her pen. I threw the pen. She's like, nope, didn't work.
Do it like 100 miles an hour over my head.
I did not throw it 100 miles an hour.
Over my head.
Okay, I might have thrown it a little bit over your head. All right, so let's see. How's that looking? That's looking pretty good. So, all right, so now that we have that, so we can just kind of keep on going. Now, and again, this is just a process. So if anybody's like, man, this is taking time, yeah, this is what we do. So if you've ever been curious and want to know why does it take a while for me to get my design, especially when I say challenge me, just remember challenging means, okay, you're going to have to give me some time to figure it out. So, but I've been thinking about this one for about 2 months. But Callie also knew that it was going to take me a few months to get to her project anyway. So this was a project in the work that I could start to kind of build out. So she knew I was going to really put my brain pan on it. Alrighty, and then it's going to have kind of like this little, yeah, that's going to work, yep. And then I want it to kind of
put brain pan on it.
I stand by that exact sentence. I put my brain pan on it.
Directly.
Yep. I stand by the sentence. It was good sentencing. It was wonderful construction. It had depth, had emotion, pathos, everything you want in a sentence.
Yep. 100%.
100%. All right, that's looking pretty good. And then we want to go up, and then we want to and then we want to then we want to go up. And
I was trying to sleep.
I know, right?
I mean, I guess it's good that it's a Friday.
That's fair. I mean, it is only 9, and it's a Friday, so it's like.
You're gonna be loud at 9 o'clock at night. It was split your Friday.
Unrelated. Okay, so I got a message in the chat here, or in the what do you mean that's a thick house? What house are you referring to, Cat Gangster? I need context, buddy. So you need to give me some context on that's a thick house. So I don't know. I don't know what he's referring to. That's okay. We'll come back and fix that in a minute. So. Alrighty, and then we'll give it kind of like a send a pic. Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh, okay. So he sent us a picture with this big freaking honking, it looks like a log cabin. Here, I'll pull up the Discord so you guys can see this real quick. Hold on. We're gonna. Sorry, I'm looking down, working on stuff.
Is it a cabin in the woods?
Yeah, it's a cabin in the woods, but it's like no, but it's like the mother of all cabin in the woods. Here you go. Hold on, let me see. There you go. So there you go. That's the mother of all cabin in the woods. Those are big redwoods or something. Dear Lord. And that's just like the base, and then it looks like it turns into like shingles and stuff above it. That's crazy. Anyways, all right. So let's go back over to Photoshop.
Oh.
By the way, if anybody has any questions or if anybody's curious about something, feel free to ask. If you want to talk about something specific, I'm just sitting here working, so feel free. This is what I do. So yeah, if you guys are curious about something or want to know why I'm doing something a certain way, or if you're just just curious, ask. Or if you just want to sit there and watch and be chill and quiet, that's okay too. That's not a problem. But I know a lot of people have always asked, well, hey, can you ever show us how you do this? Well, here you go. This is the way. So this is the way. This is what we do. This is how it gets done. It literally is done. And I tell people I design it bit by bit, and they're like, you don't design it bit by bit. And I'm like, I bet I do. I think it's hard to conceptualize designing like this. I don't know why I have a talent for it.
Me.
But I do, and I'm okay with that. So it's like,
if you took that American Horror Story pill, you would be the greatest pixel artist in the world.
Oh God, my brain would probably explode though. I think I do a pretty good job of pixelating as is. I don't think I need it.
Like macaroni art and stuff.
I don't think I need any help with my pixels. I think my pixels are pretty good as is.
Selling your macaroni art for like $1,000 per macaroni.
$1,000 per macaroni, huh? It's a lot of macaroni, but I'm okay with that. How do we turn that to a Netflix show, though? We need to, so we can get that Netflix money, because Netflix just throws money at everybody, right?
Well, after you sell a few of your macaroni pieces, you start a show where you try to find the next big macaroni artist.
There we go. So let's take a look. All right, so I'm liking that. That's looking really good. I'm liking how that's going to look. Now, right now, it almost looks like a Mega Man hand, but when we put it all together, it's really going to come together quite nicely. I think that's going to be really cool. And here, let me make sure I'm doing a full screen. Yeah, okay, I'm good. So that's looking really good. So you guys can kind of see where we're going to go with this. But right now, again, we're going to come back and we're going to just put that back. And we're going to get to like kind of like the bigger portions of this. Now, the interesting part is some parts are going to be easier to design than others. And that's kind of the fun part is once you kind of get a rhythm for this, you can start to just kind of make big, bold choices. So what I'm doing right now is, and this is something that a lot of people are not familiar with, is I'm holding the shift button while I'm painting. And I'm only moving my cursor to where I want it to go. And shift is using an algorithmic way of understanding where I want the cursor to be. This is a great way of making outlines or figuring out what plotting you want it to do. And as long as you know how it's going to plot, it's not something you can do off the cuff. Like you have to kind of think about it. You have to kind of understand where you're going to go. But once you understand the methodology, it's actually a really useful tool in order to start to build out your design. So what we're doing right now is we're just simply fleshing out the piece so that way, and actually, you know what? I don't like that. No, I don't want to turn on the sticky keys. I just want you to undo. Thank you.
Ew.
It doesn't like that I was using quick keys. It's like, hey, you're using quick keys. I could do something better for you. It's like, no. If I wanted you to do something better, I would have asked you. Not liking that either. So here we'll come across a little bit smoother then. And then we'll go ahead and we'll, nope. Yep. And then, yep, there we go. All right, so again, oh, I screwed up. Oh, this is a wonderful teaching moment. Okay, look what I did, folks. I painted directly on my piece. That's terrible. Never do that. So what I have to do now is I have a trick on how to fix stuff like this. Hopefully my buffer is going to go back far enough, but I'm going to copy, I'm going to undo, and hopefully I have enough undo to make this happen. If I don't, it's okay. I can still fix it. So that's why I always have backups. All right, kick ass.
You forgot to make a new layer.
No, it wasn't. I didn't want to make a new layer, so I forgot to put it on the proper layer that I was working on. There we go. All right. So what I did is I highlighted the problem that was wrong I then went ahead and copied it. I told it to go back in the buffer and undo until I hadn't painted anymore, and then I pasted, and it took those pixels that I had copied that was in the buffer, and it pasted it into a new layer. Now that I have it underneath my outline layer, I can merge it with my outline, and they become one, just like that. All right, so now we can take a look at this. That's looking good. It's looking good. All right. So as you can see, at this point, there's nothing really too, like, you know, glamorous about this. It's just time and patience and effort, and you just kind of take your time to make sure you don't screw anything up. Yeah, it's super glam. But as long as you
basically dress up like David Bowie when you're pearling.
When I'm pearling, I should just be David Bowie. I'm the David Bowie of pearlers.
Yeah, super fabulous hair and makeup.
Little femme.
And one of those cod pieces.
One of Jareth's cod pieces from Labyrinth.
Yes.
All right, so we're finding way too much about what Laura's Saturday night's going to be now, so, and what my Saturday night's going to be too.
It's Friday.
Well, it's going to take me a little while to put the outfit together, woman. I don't just have it sitting in the closet, so you got to give me a minute.
Lame.
Huh? All right.
What if I go to Amazon and order cod piece?
Oh, I'm sure you can order a cod piece.
Cod piece.
I'm sure you can.
I'm gonna look.
Do it.
But I'm doing something, so I can't. I'll get there.
Okay. So Laura's going to try to find me a cod piece. That's going to be fun. That'll be a future show. By the way, when I say that,
everyone leaves.
that's what I was about to say. Like, that's not going to happen. Just FYI. So that's not going to be a thing.
Everyone runs away like,
Alrighty. Now there are some planar moments, like this really hard ridge area. You want to define it with a black line, at least I do, so that way it really helps sell some of the detailing that we're going to do later. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And you're going to notice that there's going to be some spots that are going to be pure black. So in that particular case, I will literally just fill it in just like so. And again, we can turn that off. We just want to get a good contrast. That's coming out nice. That's looking good. Alrighty.
make sure you're on the right layer.
I'm on the right layer.
Good.
Alrighty.
We're gonna look up.
Laura's looking up cod pieces.
Order cod pieces. You custom make them.
I have no problem being a noob on the cod piece scene.
I don't have time to make cod pieces.
You want us to make all your stuff? We got to order a cod piece. Let somebody else do the cod piece order building for us.
I could use like a bra and like retrofit it to a pair of tidy whities, and then like put something.
Oh my God, this sounds like too much work.
Like a big E or an F-sized cup, and then like stick that on a pair of tidy whitey tights or dance tights. Stick that right on a pair of dance tights, but paint it to look like it's like metal or something. Put some studs and shit in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you have a rocking crotch.
I already do have a rocking crotch.
Yeah, but you have studs.
I don't know if I want studs in my crotch. I got to be honest.
There's your sensitive pitch.
Right about that studded crotch part, I guess. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna. Yep, that's where my adventure part stops. Like, nope, good.
Getting you studs.
Okay. It's a very weird conversation, honey.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Pixels, Scotch, and cod pieces.
You guys didn't know what was going to happen tonight when you tuned in, did you?
They never do.
They never know with us. They're like, we thought that it was going to be a wholesome family show, and then they started talking about cod pieces and Jareth from Labyrinth and what the hell.
That's a family-friendly show. It's just a guy who's in love with a 13-year-old and wants to steal her baby
Well,
mother.
she's 16, but yeah, it's still a bad look.
Totally weird and creepy, but gosh, it was the 80s.
I don't think that's really an excuse, is it?
I don't know. They did some weird stuff in the 80s.
They did do weird stuff in the 80s. All righty.
Yeah.
Sashay.
The storyline, the narrative of that movie is really messed up.
Absolutely, it is. All
Everyone loves it. It's beloved.
Yeah, there we go. We're getting pretty close now, guys. All right. It's coming together. It's coming together. I swear to God, some kid just went full Braveheart outside. They're like, freedom!
You heard that, right? Okay.
I swear the kid just went freedom.
That's exactly what I heard too.
He went full on Mel Gibson, like in Braveheart. Like, I don't know if his parents are about to take him home and he doesn't want to go home, and he's like, freedom! I don't know. But that kid was all about it, like just proclaiming. Which, you know, same kid, same. Okay.
I'm gonna go around as an adult and scream like that.
Just scream like, ah! All right, so Sentinels have really ganky kind of groinal areas anyway, so we're going to give them a big old kind of...
Like this?
Try that again, because Laura made me laugh.
It'd be funny if you really actually guess.
I mean, it's going to kind of be like a cod piece, but...
But he's a robot and doesn't have junk.
Right, he's a robot and doesn't have junk, but it will have a cod PCN portion to it.
He's a Ken doll type crotch.
Yes. I want to give him that kind of aesthetic, so. All right.
Poor Ken. Even Barbie had boobs. Ken's got nothing.
I don't think Ken really minded having nothing, at least not according to Toy Story. He just wanted to make sure he had fabulous clothes. So, I mean, you know, Ken knew what he was about. He was like, I'm good. He's like, do I have clothes? Cool, I'm good. I mean, come on, he had astronaut Ken. I mean, come on, I was like, he was loaded up, man. I mean, dude, Ken was rocking it.
RoboCod.
All right, so now we're going to back it out for a second. We're just going to take a look and see what we got here. And I think as far as the top section is concerned, I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're getting the basic shapes worked out. And as you can see here, there's still some stuff I got to work on, but you can start to get a good idea of what it's going to look like. And we're going to define out that shoulder pauldron area a little bit more. We're gonna really get that looking smooth and sweet. And that's actually one of the great parts that I want to keep. And I'm going to have to talk to Callie about it a little bit in case she becomes super anti-shoulder pauldron. And the reason why is because they're machines, they're metallic, and in a lot of cases, they look a little too humanoid for me. And again, just to kind of remind you guys, this is what they normally look like. That just looks like a guy in a weird metal suit. One of the things I really liked about this particular version of Sentinel is that the shoulder pauldrons really give it a nice mechanical look. And then I can gradient this color and just make this pop, because it's going to go through like 6 color variations. It's going to really have a nice deep transition that's going to look really good and make it look more metallic, which I think is going to just really be nice. And it'll have a good contrast when compared to some of these other pieces too. Here, I'm going to go over to the comments here. RoboCod. Yes, RoboCod. Here, I want to RoboCod. All right. So we're going
to from that company that made
from OCP. So, all right. So now that we've got that, we've got to start making some big choices. Now, at this point, we've been guided more or less, and actually here, I need to, whoop, hold on, I forgot to, there we go. All right. So at this point, we've been guided more or less by the already established artwork that I was using as a point of reference in order to get a good idea of what was happening here. But we're getting to the point now where we have to start making some big choices about the legs. Now, fortunately, with the legs, not a lot to choose from. All I got to do is basically flesh these things out and then get them big old Mega Man feet going on. So we're going to start from the parts that we know we're going to keep. So we're going to kind of move this way just a bit. And we're going to go right to there. Then we're going to take this back leg. I'm going to kind of bring it out just like so. And just like we did with the arm, we're going to give it some detail. We're not going to get too crazy about it, but we're going to give it some... Would you quit with the damn sticky keys? Oh, my Lord.
No, you should just get crazy, like Bob Ross.
Well, when I say crazy, I mean, I don't want to add on too many black lines because a lot of the work is actually going to be done by the color. So we just need to give a good definition.
Crazy.
I mean, we're not we're not being uncrazy here. I mean, we're definitely doing some stuff. So, which is good. But I don't want to get too freaking nutty. So, see, like right there, that didn't work. So we're going to try again, but we're going to bring it up a little bit, just like so. And then we're going to, yeah, that's better. I like that. And so then I can just kind of take a look at that and say like, all right, that's feeling pretty good. All right, so now we can go ahead and we can just kind of put down the, whoop, there we go. And we can just kind of put down the back little part here. By the way, if anybody's curious about my quick keys, just feel free to ask. I'm just using a lot of quick keys because that's just how I work. I'm a big believer of them.
Me too.
All right, so now.
The less clicking and typing.
Yep. So now we've gotten that part done. We can just, again, we just want to, and you'll notice I'll do this a lot, is I'll go back and I'll look and I'll see if it's, and you can see now that's matching up nicely. That's got a nice scale to it. It's got a nice thickness. Everything's looking like it matches together, which is nice. It's still a little weird because he's got like the big kind of like, you know, hamburger helper hand, but that's because it's open, the fingers are wide. Once we start to color it in, it's going to really pop.
Hamburger hand wide.
What? I don't even know what the hell Laura just said. She became that guy from Darmok and Talanga, right? Anything Darmok is hand wide with hamburger helper. Like
Hamburger helper, hands wide.
Shaka, the wall fell.
Shaka when the wall. Shaka when the hamburgers were done.
Shaka when the hamburger helper was ready. I don't know. So, anyways. So let's just kind of look at that. And if I go to the sticky key settings, I can turn that prompt off. Well, maybe they could just like stop trying to prompt me on it, huh? Stupid prompt. Yeah, this is just because it's a tablet that can go that way. And I'm like, ugh, shut up. Like, I don't need you telling me that crap. All right, we're going to.
Yes, you do.
All right, so let's zoom back in now.
It knows better than you, Sean.
Well, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this process. You guys are being pretty quiet right now, so I'm hoping you're enjoying seeing kind of behind the curtain here. Because I've always been a little sketch about showing how I do this because I'm like, I don't know if anybody would appreciate kind of what happens. So, you know, if you're digging it, let us know in the comments.
It's Photoshop paint by colors.
Is that what somebody just said?
No, what I said.
Is that what you said?
It's like a paint by numbers, but in Photoshop.
I mean, dumbed down, yeah, you could say it's kind of like a paint by colors, but I kind of take offense to that a little bit because it kind of feels like you're diminishing the amount of effort it takes to put this all together. But it is a little kind of like paint by colors at the same time because you do have to kind of make choices and paint to it. The problem is that there's no design. Like you have to make the design to paint it by the colors. So like right here, I don't like how they're doing the knee. So I'm going to have to like go off book here and I'm going to kind of like round it off more instead of going deeper into that muscle. So, but I mean, yeah, that's not an unfair statement, I suppose.
I don't want to diminish your efforts. Not at all. Just saying, you know, the process of kind of like dotting the colors feels like one of those diamond paintings or something.
Yeah, except you don't have a guide. You have to just kind of figure it out.
Yes.
Which, again, has its own sets of challenges, which is kind of cool. You know, but yeah, at the same time, it's like, you know.
You're the person who designs the diamond painting.
Yeah. Which is why people always ask if they can, like, you know, make it. Like, oh, can I use this? It's like,
See, you should get a job making diamond paintings.
Honestly, I keep trying to figure out a way to get, like, Perler or somebody to, like, just pay me to do, like, these licensed freaking pieces of artwork, man. Like, okay, that's looking pretty dope. What do you guys think about that? Here, and let's do we'll do a full on so you guys can see it. We'll actually paint it in black here for a second so you guys start to get a good idea of what we're looking at here. That's looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty happy about that. And just to give you an idea, when we start to outline it, you can really get a good idea of what we're seeing here. So, but I'm really liking how that's starting to turn out.
Jedi burrito. It's pretty nifty seeing the process and very cool to see a Sentinel getting some love. And Callie says she's loving it. So,
but that's actually pretty cool right now, kind of going through that and seeing it. It's definitely getting where I want it to be. So, but you can see now when I make it black, you can really get a good sense of what's going on here. And that's one of the things that you always have a bit of a problem. So you can see if I turn back on that underlayer, you can see like, oh, it's starting to, okay. So you can start to see how we're going to start to, you know, color this out and map it and whatnot. But we still got a good ways to go here, because now we're to what I call imagination land. And imagination land basically says this line at the bottom is more or less where we want to go. Actually, I need to move this line down because the feet are way further down now. Is there a garage door opening?
No, that's the guy across the street starting his car.
You're kidding me.
No.
That's that dude's car?
That's his car.
That sounds like a garage door opener.
That's how his car sounds. And then he sits in his driveway for like 5 minutes running it and rubbing it, and then he drives away.
Wow.
At least it's only 9:20 and not 1 in the morning. Because sometimes he does this at 1 in the morning.
Well, that's just a douche move.
I'm surprised it doesn't wake you up. If it wakes me up, I thought it would wake you up.
Seriously, right? But that's okay. All right. So back to it now.
The apocalypse and wake up and wonder where everybody went.
I guess in that particular instance, sure. Maybe I'm just used to the noise because it happens so frequently. So, all right. So now I have to make a call here. Am I okay with how those feet look?
Let me see.
Well, I'm not actually to the feet yet, but so at this particular point, do I like, and by the way, when I'm talking about the feet, I'm literally talking about right here. I'm talking here. Let me use the marquee. I'm talking about just this area right down here. Am I happy with how those feet are pointing? And I think I might want to screw with them a little bit.
I think the feet are pointing in the right direction.
They are.
The body. If you change it too much.
I know. Yeah.
Throw his weight weird.
So what I want to do for a second is I just want to take a look at something. I just want to mess around for a moment here. I want to go back to those legs that I had been using before. And I just want to take a look at them, and I just want to kind of reference them out. So we're just kind of popping those open. I just want to, again, just take a look. We're not committing to anything here. We're just taking a look here for a second. Because both legs are arching a bit, but do I like that squared off foot more? I kind of am. I like the squared off foot just a little bit more. The only problem is, though, is that, again, we have to think about this. Since on a big old round, stupid croc feet. Ugg feet. I'm not a big fan of the
basic big Ugg boots.
Yeah. So when I look at that, and again, I'm just looking at these feet here. When I'm looking at that foot, I don't think I can go there. I don't think. I think I have to go with the ugly, and I don't like it, but I think it's what I got to do. However, no, I got to go with it.
I don't make chunks. Chunk, clunk, bucket, feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just clonk the feet. Ugh.
Jedi Greedo also says, I used to do a lot of art stuff in MS Paint, which was pretty much pixel by pixel, so I can relate.
Nice. Yeah, no. The one thing I don't like about MS Paint is like layers were never. Well, okay. Let me pull up me for a second. We're gonna focus on me for a second here. All right. So one of the reasons why I never really liked MS Paint was when I had to use it back in like 1990. There were no layers. You had like 7 colors. You could pick more colors, but it was a very ugly process. There's not been a really good digital painting small scale, like for pixels, other than Photoshop for a long time that allow you to really get into the nitty gritty of it. So when I show people like how I do this, I'm like, you have to remember that when we're looking at it in reality, you know, the actual pixel, like the canvas is only like this big. Like the canvas is actually extremely small because those pixels are not a lot, you know, like, I mean, you know, even in real scale, I mean, it's like maybe like this. But we're like really tight in on it. So that's kind of what we're working on here. And they've gotten better at it over the years. So there now are programs. There's actually one I use on my iPad that's really good that allows me to work in a pixel scale, but I can use a full res photo in the background. So I can actually distort and make things look the way I want them to. And then I can basically pop it in as a background. I can just trace over it. And that allows me to have a lot of flexibility. But that's not always available. So in the cases of something like the Sentinel, you have to kind of like, you know, think outside the box a bit. But anyways, back to the program. So let's go ahead.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Back to your regularly scheduled program, right. So this is where I have to make some big decisions. And I'm a little freaked out by them, I got to be honest. So I'm actually going to start with the foot down here. And I'm going to give him a bit more chunk foot. And we're going to go like this. And I like segmented chunky feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to round that out like so. And then we're going to I mean, yeah, we're chonking. I mean, there's no doubt that there is a chonkaholic going on right now.
Show me your chonk.
Did somebody say that in the chat?
No.
Show me your chonk.
That's what I said.
Okay, fair enough. It's like, somebody say, show me your chonk. Like, okay, you perverts.
I said that.
Well, yeah, you are a pervert, though, so that's okay.
And I am. Absolutely. Might not be allowed to say that on the internet anymore.
What, that you're a pervert?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but you're private, like, and consent always matters. So, like, you're not just like a pervert to anybody. Would you quit?
Only you.
Just disable. Thank you. Hold on. Sticky keys. No. Turn off. Go away. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I just got mad on my computer.
Why don't you try that setting on?
I just did. Yeah, there we go. That's a big old chonk. All right.
Chonk it to me.
All right.
That was a dad joke.
That was a dad joke. I don't know if anybody would get that Nixon joke, actually. Oh! That was a terrible choice.
Chonkosaurus Rex. Oh, stop. I need the kids to go away before I can take Sasha out.
I don't want to do it like that because it's going to look really bad. I know it's how it's supposed to look, but I don't like it. All right, so let's try from this side then. Let me think outside the box here. Do 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 do. Sorry, I got quiet here, guys. I'm using that part of my brain where I'm really trying to crack the nut on this problem. So.
And there's smoke coming out of his ear.
Shut up. She's so mean to me.
What?
Smoke coming out of my ears.
Oh, there it is.
There's no smoke coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. Not unless I put a filter on it.
I could light your hair on fire. There'd be smoke coming out of your ears.
I mean, there'd be smoke coming off my head. There's a difference.
But it would look like coming out of your ears.
I suppose. No challenge accepted. Front leg, perfect. Back leg, horrible. Horrible back leg. I hate it.
It's the angle.
Of course it's the angle. So, hate it. Get rid of it.
Did anybody watch Ted Lasso today? It was really good.
Yeah, today's Ted Lasso is really good. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. After we're done here, of course, watch us. You know.
If you have Apple TV.
Yeah. If you don't, well then, you know.
You don't have Apple TV then. Sorry.
Got it. I must still be asleep, dude. I'm gonna have to give you a mouse for that laptop. I just started the series. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on, Christina. What are you talking about? Like, I like using my trackpad. Why would I want to use a freaking, like, ugh.
He doesn't want to use a mouse.
If I want to use a mouse, I'd go get my mouse. Oh, I just got to figure out this foot. I got to figure out the foot.
I started using a trackpad on my Mac, and I'll never use a mouse again.
This foot's going to drive me nuts now.
I got one of those magic trackpads from my MacBook.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to sound disinterested. I'm just pissed off at the thing.
It's amazing. And it has made a huge difference to my hand pain.
Oh, that's good.
Like not holding the mouse all day and just.
Let's just take a look. What else we got
And
here?
I can use my like whole hand, you know.
Right.
And it's really sensitive, so I actually don't have to even like click or anything. I just sort of tap it, and it's really intuitive, and it trains by your hand. So like it starts to learn your motions, and it knows what I'm doing from my like repetitive things, and then it basically self learns.
That's pretty cool. So if anybody's curious, right now what I'm doing is I'm just trying to look at some feet here, which I know is riveting, but I'm just trying to figure out a way to get that chonk foot the way I want it.
Comment from Jedi Greedo is there an Iron Man from a similar game you could use for an armored foot?
Not really. Though I could go look. Hold on, let me see. 1 second. Let's go look.
And Cat Gangster likes clicks.
What?
Christina says, I can hear the clicks. Cat Gangster says, I like the clicks. I like the clicks too. I like clicky sounds. I find it to be a very satisfying sound. Like typing. Like typing sounds.
All right, let's see here. Hold on, guys. Here, I'll put it back on me because right now there's nothing going on the other screen. So give me a second here. There we go. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to find something. So let's see here. Let's look for Iron Man. Let's see what we can find here.
Copyright strike.
What'd I do?
You were singing again.
Oh, shit. Sorry. It's stuck in my head right now.
It was on Ted Lasso, wasn't it?
No, we were listening to it this morning. Ralph Garman.
Right, Ralph Garman.
Yeah, somebody requested it on Ralph Garman, so it's stuck in my head.
Yeah, the chick with the dead brother.
Yeah, the dead brother. Yeah.
I was like, this is way too heavy for 9 in the morning.
On a Friday.
On a Friday, I can't.
And so my head, I've just been like, oh, I know what I could look at. Oh, this is gonna be nasty. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, this is gonna be so nasty. Yep, there it is. Oh, do I gotta?
No.
Yeah, I gotta. All right. Ugh. Okay, so this is like, it's honestly the most accurate version that we have here. So here, we're gonna go back here. All right, guys, you're about to see maybe one of the nastiest, gankiest.
Slices?
All right. This is from the X-Men video game from like 1992. You could fight many Sentinels. This is a very, very, very small pixel design, and I mean small. However, they're in the right colors. And if I look around, I should be able to find a foot that I can use. And it'd probably be that bad boy right there. Ugh. All right, let me just double check real quick before I commit to it. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. All right, well, I looked. Whoa. Actually, why am I doing that? Yeah, I'll go down. We don't need you anymore. Look at this little dinky freaking foot.
Almost the same pose.
I was trying to find something I could use. I just don't like using this particular one because I'm like, I don't like their art style, but it's the closest and most accurate to what we're trying to accomplish. So I'm like,
yep. That's the shape you're looking for, and it's almost the same foot placement, so it should overlay pretty good.
That's my thought. So my distaste of the kind of ganky artwork notwithstanding, I'm like, all right, that'll work. And then I can smooth it out. Yeah, that's actually pretty damn close. I hate it. But it's actually pretty close. All righty.
It loves you, Sean.
What, the Sentinel? I don't want the Sentinel to love me.
It loves you. It just wants to be loved.
I don't know, man. Sentinels to me are like one step behind Skynet, okay? Like, it's only a matter of time before they realize all humans got to go, not just mutants. So it's like, nope, I'm anti-Sentinel.
Humans make mutants. Thus, all humans should die.
This is what I'm saying.
Can't argue with that logic though.
Sure you can.
Oh Lord. That's from Cat Gangster. Oh Lord.
What, the Sentinel leg?
Probably.
Ugh, nope, hate it. I'll fix that in a second.
But the shape.
No, the shape's fine. No, I hated what I was doing right there. No.
Exactly right.
No, the shape's fine. I was hating what I was doing in a second here. All right. So.
Giant chonkosaur.
Oh, he definitely a chonkosaurus, no doubt. But I need it to. I need to define this outfoot just a little bit here. Nope.
Lord.
This is where my brain starts to like short circuit because I'm like, nope, it's there. I could see it in my head. It's just not quite where I wanted to be.
You're so close though.
That's one too many out. So if anybody's ever been curious, does he go this crazy for all design? Yes, this is what my brain does. All right, let's turn this off. Let's see. Let's invert. Yeah, that's a lot cleaner. Still not 100% happy with it, but because they're not the right scale now. The feet, unfortunately, are not quite matching up as far as the scale of the hump right there.
Hump?
Well, you'll see in a second. It'll line up. So I can make the front foot thicker, which I don't want to do because I think the front foot's the right kind of design. I got to make this other part smaller, so that's what we're going to have to do.
Bring it in just a little bit. Bring it in just a hair. Like.
So what I want to do then?
A dot. Bring it in just like a dot.
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about.
The trunk foot.
Right now I'm just trying to get this the you'll see.
Bye. I won't help you no more.
Appreciate it. Later.
Babies?
What about babies?
Did you believe your daddy would speak to me in that toy?
They're like, absolutely. Again, absolutely. I'm chock full of trifle.
Can't believe I had Cocoa Pebbles today.
Yeah, Laura had Cocoa Pebbles for the first time in like forever.
So good. Oh my god.
I mean, it's just sugar. Of course, it's good. It's
it
just
was so good with a little bit of almond milk because you know I don't like too much milk.
Yeah.
I
mean, almond milk's not even milk. It's just water with some almond flavor.
To moisten them a little bit because I dumped the milk down the drain, but they were so good. I was like, oh my god, I forgot how good sugary cereal is.
Yeah, we don't really do sugary cereal anymore.
I haven't had sugary cereal.
Probably since like last Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah. Frankenberry, blueberry, nut juice. Yes, I love nut juice.
I mean, yeah, that's accurate.
I don't know how you juice the nut, but somehow almond, and what's the other one that doesn't make any damn sense?
Cashews one.
Cashew milk, almond milk, God, there's another one too. I'm like, I don't even understand how you milk that one because it's not even anything. It doesn't even make sense. But I don't like regular cow milk. I don't like the smell. Regular like moo juice, cow juice smells to me, and that just it turns me off and it makes everything taste weird. So I don't use that. I don't like it.
I think that's about that. Yeah, I think that's
potato milk. I've never seen potato milk. I wonder how sweet potato milk would taste.
Ugh.
It might not suck.
I mean, it might not.
I mean, it could be okay. Still don't know how you milk a potato or an almond.
All right, I think we're there. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good to me. I like that. It's got a nice base. Looks like he's leaning over. You can see all the elements. His arms should be just a little bit longer than they need to be because they need to be dangling down by his knees, because I always imagine that Sentinels kind of have a little bit more of an ape kind of look because they have all them freaking guns in their arms. He's also crouched over a little, so his posture is looking good. Yeah, I like that. That's looking pretty close to what I'm thinking in my head.
His boot. Good job, baby.
Yeah, that back boot, I mean, quite frankly, you know, the way people stand, you're going to have one foot kind of ajar to the other one. So there's really not a lot I can do because that's how they designed the damn foot. So if I could give him a skinnier freaking foot, I could do it. And honestly, I could bring that in a little bit. And you know what? I might go a little bit off book here just because it's not going to kill anything to do that. Let me pull up a reference point just so I can. Let's see. I think that was my reference point that I was going to use. So we'll just pull him up for a second, just to kind of give it a little polish. So we'll polish it right about to there, I think. Christina's making fun of my clicky clackies. Right? I was like, I like my clicky clacky, young lady. No, like the other way better. Sometimes you try and you go, nope, not good. Okay, well, I looked at it. That's the point. All right, so now I think we're getting. No, the lesson here is just be willing to make a mistake. So now that we've done that, we can then go ahead and boom. All right, so at this point is where we start to block out the color. So this is where it starts to get a little funky. Now, in order for this to work, hi, Sasha. In order for this to work, what I need to do is I need to start to basically block color out these huge areas. And then what we'll do is we'll come back in and we'll recolor them with more and more colors. But you might go, well, how do you know what colors you're going to use? Well, this is one of my secret weapons. And let me show you. I'll turn everything off and I'll turn this on. Where's he at? There he is. This is my color chart. These are the colors that I use in almost every piece unless I get a new custom color. This is what I figure out when I need to go through all of my color swaps. So if I'm going to figure something out, these are my colors that I use. So I group them together. I have certain pieces that I pair with frequently. I have a deeper mix of grays versus a lighter gray versus a more kind of a harsh transition of grays. I have multiples of reds, blues, yellows, so on and so forth, just so that way I can have a nice mixture of colors. So when we start to paint this all up, what we want to do is we want to make sure, and here I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just kind of, we're going to call this one build 1. And we're going to go ahead and turn that on. Yep, thank you. And then we'll turn that back off for a moment. There we go. And so then what we'll do is we can start to go ahead and we can start to block out the colors. So what I like to do is I usually like to go with the darkest color and then work my way up. So the darkest color on this Sentinel, as far as the red sections are going to be concerned, are going to be this dark red. So I go ahead and I just sample out my red. And then what I do is I come over here and I'm just going to pop this in just like so. And now we can start to look at the build and just start to figure out where it's going to be. So I know that my colors are going to basically be the legs, the arms, the shoulders, and part of the helmet. So I'm just going to go and start to paint that in now. This is just going to be super basic. There's nothing magical going on here as far as like really getting into depth here. So we're just going to paint. And in fact, I can just go and make my paintbrush a lot larger. I can just start to paint however I want to. I'm not going to have to worry about moving over anything, because right now we just want to get a good idea of what the heck we're looking at here. So just kind of quickly put that all together. And again, if I do a little overage, not a big deal. I can always come back and fix it later. So do not be worried if you ever decide to do a design like this on your own. Don't be worried about making mistakes. You can always delete as is needed.
Or maybe it's a happy accident.
or maybe it's a happy accident. So you see, if I want to get rid of this, it's on its own layer now, so I can just quickly go back and clean up pretty fast exactly what I need to. So that way, and you can start to get a good idea of what I'm looking at here. So, and again, I'm just cleaning up, nothing too terrible, just kind of wanting to see what the heck is going on. Now, this does not mean that these are going to be the only colors I'm going to use. It just means that this is where I'm at and this is what I'm looking at. And I just want to try to make things look nice and really get a good feel for them. So boom, boom, boom. Looking good, looking good. All right, don't need this part because obviously this part's going to be the little purple portion of it. And so this just allows me to kind of just start to feel out what it's going to look like. We'll come down here. We're going to paint up this part. And this is the stuff that I try to explain to people where it's like, you know, when you're working on this, a lot of people get frustrated. Why doesn't it look good yet? You know, they're like, why doesn't it look great? And it's like, well, you have to build it up. You know, a lot of people expect their pixel artwork as soon as you build it to look amazing. And quite frankly, pixel artwork looks like hot garbage almost into the very, very, very end. It really does. Pixel artwork is not great unless you know how to gradiate your colors, if you know how to really punch them up and you really take the time to work on the color side of things. That's the difference between making something looking flat and kind of boring versus making something looking really kind of cool, or as I would call it, bling. So we really want to make something just look really nice. And right now, this is literally, like Laura was saying, it's paint by numbers. We're literally just painting in some areas and we're just taking a look at it. So we're not even trying to really get anything too specific. One of the reasons why I'm working on a really dark color is because I want to build up my highlights. So if anybody here has ever painted like miniatures before, you know that a lot of times you will paint your base color and then you'll build up from that. So what you'll do is you'll basically start to build in your highlights, your low lights sometimes with what they call a wash. But you try to use the color that you feel is going to be most used in the piece or in that area. So that's all we're doing right now. So we're just simply painting with broad strokes. So now that I've done that with the red, I'm like, all right, that's good. I know I'm going to have a fleshy tone for the face, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for a mid-tone. I'm going to paint his face up. And honestly, his face is probably going to get messed around with a lot. So in this case, I'm just going to kind of quickly fill it in. And again, if I miss a spot, no big deal. I can come back with a smaller brush. And I can just do this. Man, I remember when I used to teach Photoshop to people. Like, this is just what I would do. Like, I'm having flashbacks to that. It's kind of funny. And then what we'll do is we'll finally finish painting out with a purple. And in fact, I have a slightly darker purple that I don't even have on this register. So I'm going to put in the slightly darker purple mode now.
You're so cute. You're just this mushy puppy in the bed.
All right.
Just this mushy puppy.
And we're just going to go ahead and start to paint out the purple now. And again, don't worry about that. Actually, you know what? Here, I'm going to do something real quick because I want to keep this purple for later, but I don't want to use it right now. I want to one-step it down. There we go. And since my build is so freaking small, I can just boop, boop. There we go. All right, perfect. Now, I can continue to paint. So, Laura, how's that booze?
It's all gone.
You drank the whole bottle?
Yep.
Wow. That's intense.
What's there?
You had a rough week, girl. Damn. By the way, she's fibbing. That bottle will last her quite a while. She likes to do like a snifter at a time. So if she does more than like 2 glasses, I'd get worried. Like, what? She really likes to enjoy the longevity of those bottles. I got her one for your birthday. Wasn't it your birthday that I got your, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And she just finished it right before Dragon Con. So that was back in April. And she just finished it off. So, yeah, she likes to really kind of just like take her time with these bottles. She really likes to enjoy them. But, yeah, booze is kind of like one of those presents that you can't go wrong with the wife. So if anybody's ever wanted to send Laura a present, guess what? Booze, going to be your friend. Laura appreciates that kind of gestures. She's like, this is a good gesture. That's funny. There's a contrast here between the purple and the black. It's making it look like that red is bleeding over, but it's actually not. I don't know if anybody else is picking that up, but it's kind of cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't looked at the comments lately. Sorry. Hey, what's up? Pixel art looks easy, but it's really hard, and shading looks hard, but it's easy. I mean, it's, you know, it's a thing. You know, you get used to it. So you just have to take your time. And honestly, this is one of those things where I tell people, design, do something else, come back, design again, do something else, come back. You know, don't be happy until you feel it really captured what was in your head. And if it's not there, step away from it. Go to do another project and then come back to it. I do that all the time. And I come back to a project over and over again until I get it exactly where I want it to be. And yeah, that can be frustrating for somebody who's doing commissioned work, but I tend to err on the side of they want this to look as amazing as they hope all the other stuff they see is. So I tend to be like, well, if I don't feel it's up to that standard, I'm not going to send it to them. I don't want to send them something just to get it done. I want them to go, wow, that was worth whatever that weight was. And I'm very fortunate in the fact that I've never gotten a bad review on that site, except for one time. I had one guy. Oh, that guy can just go eat it. I hated that one. Oh, I was like, just give him his money back. Like, just I'm done. Like, just keep the damn piece and go away. And this particular cat, it wasn't a mean gentleman or anything. He wasn't a bad person. He was really specific with what he wanted, and I designed it and I sent it to him exactly as he asked. He's like, well, that's not what I was envisioning. Can you do it again? In the budget that he had, and he wanted me to do it again, which I was like, okay, well, now you're getting a second piece, and it's going to be even more expensive. And I did it just to shut him up. But oh my God. This guy, I'm like, never again. Like, and he's come back to our booth and he's like, oh yeah, I love that Scott Pilgrim. Thanks for making it for me. I'm like, great, glad you love it. And he's like, can I get another one? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm full of what? I've made Scott Pilgrim for more than one person. I've made in my years at least 6 Scott Pilgrims. So if you're one of the 6 Scott Pilgrim people, one of you are a bad person. You're not a bad person. And honestly, that person just really, really wanted what they wanted. So I just had to work on it. But I've made many of those. It's not like I could sit here and go like, this one time, this woman, she really wanted a Sentinel. And I'm like, oh God, I've only ever made one Sentinel. People would be like, dude, there's a video of that. But like I said, that was a nightmare one where I was just like, oh God. And I just had to keep designing and redesigning and redesigning. But I got there. I got it to him. So, and then he was ultimately happy. Hi, baby. They can't see you. You're not on the camera. They're just looking at the screen. I can put on a split screen if you want them to see the peanut, if they bubble gum.
No.
Okay. You smell like bubble gum.
That's because I eaten the bubble gum.
Yeah. So, anyways, boring parts. Yay. Shaking the booty.
Oh, Sasha, you're so cute. Courtney just curls up and sleeps like a little deer. And you just look like a, I don't even know, a little nugget.
Okay. So we have color blocked. Woo! Doesn't that look cool? So this is just some basic color blocking. There is nothing really special going on here. This is just us getting an idea of what it's going to look like. And yeah, you know, it's not bad. You know, it's getting there, but it's still a work in progress. So what we'll do is we'll now start to build up the color so that way we can start to really get a good feel for it. Now, there are multiple ways of doing this. One way I like to do it is I like to have my reference layer on top. So that way, if I ever want to see where I'm coloring, I can just kind of turn something on real quick and then turn it back off. So if I want to see where the color is, I can just do this. Okay, and I can turn it back off and I can start to paint. And if I want to look at it again, I can look at it and then I can paint. And I can look at it and then I can paint. And there's going to be changes as you're going through this. So if you start to build something, you're like, oh, I don't quite like where that's looking. don't be afraid to just, you know, try something, do it a little differently. For instance, I noticed that I didn't quite finish off this part right here for the chest armor where we have that ridge, and we want that to be a nice firm ridge. So that way, there we go. See, and that right there, it just automatically gives it that little bit of depth that we want to kind of paint that out. So that's looking pretty good. And right now we're just looking at it. We want to see where, you know, we might have places that we might want to.
Oh my God.
What?
Callie just says, oh my God.
Yeah, we're getting there. You know, it's getting there. You know, I mean, it takes time. It takes time. And something this big, I mean, Callie knew that this was going to take a hot minute. So, but again, scale here, you can start to really get a good idea. I mean, that's looking pretty good. And when you put this all together, this is going to look nice. So we're starting to see where we're going to go. But there we go. So we'll look at this. Yeah, all right. Look at that. All right. You know, but you get a good feel for where we're going here. And I think it's getting there. So, but I'm glad that she's losing her mind. That's good. And amazingly enough, we still have a lot of people watching, which is kind of freaking me out. I'm like, wow, either we're entertaining or they're just fascinated by watching pixels getting painted. Maybe a little both. I don't know. Could be both. Looks like I had a rogue pixel going on here. Okay, so how can I fix that? Because I don't like how those fingers are touching.
Rogue pixel.
This is one of those where I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with on that one. I think that's where we're going to sit. I'm going to thicken out that finger a bit. Let me see. How does that look? Yeah, I like that. I like that a little bit better. Which means if I want to do that, I'm going to do the same thing here. And then, yeah, I like that better. I have a little overlap here. I don't need overlap. Actually, you know what? Yeah, there we go. All right, so now that we're looking at that, okay, cool. So now we got a good idea of where we're at, what we're looking at. And it's time to start to make color decisions, like real color decisions. Now, at this point, I'm going to go back onto my screen for a second here. So let's explain what's about to happen. So at this point, we've looked at the reference material. We have built out the piece as best we can. We have then made sure that everything's feeling proportionally right. We've basically given ourselves a solid black outline, and we've done our color blocking. And our color blocking is basic, meaning that all we've done is we've taken the basic colors of the character, however many that would be. If it's 16 colors for the character, then we'd have 16 colors. In this case, it's red, blue, and purple. I'm sorry, red, tan, and purple. So now that we have that in there, we have to understand that purple is going to shift all the way into this light lavender shade. And then we're also going to have that red is going to move into pinks. Now, that means that we have to kind of have a little fun with it. You know, we don't have to get too crazy. But what I'm going to focus on right now is instead of the super fine details of the face, I want to really focus on the arms. I'm going to focus on the legs. I'm going to focus on the torso. Really get the shape of that out. The face is really important, but I find that if you can get everything else looking perfect, the face can sometimes only be 20 pixels. And as long as you have a good implication of what it should look like, the rest of it fills in. So filling out the rest of a body that's this huge is really where we want to take our time and focus on it. And as you can see, we already have a good idea of where the lighting is going to be. So I just have to make sure that we're going to consistently apply this. So we're going to go in and we're going to start to paint around a little bit. And we're going to talk about the philosophy of where highlights and lowlights are. So here, let me give it a... So when you're painting with pixels, you're trying to display depth with only a few lines of color. So what that normally means is, for me, if I want to show that somebody's big and beefy or they've got a lot of depth to them, I want to show that there's a progression of color to show that there is some kind of light gradation. So if we look at something like this, you can see over here, it's darker than over here. So I would maybe make this 1 shade, then 2 shade, then 3 shade, and then finally this would be like close to white. And that would show a gradation of color, which would allow it to look more metallic, round. And notice that there's a little hot spot of white. We want to put that in there as well. So when you're looking at surfaces, look around you, look at your arms, look at how light is bouncing off of you. So that way you can kind of apply that to what you're coloring. And again, we are lucky because we're using something that already has given us a point of reference. And here, let me show you again what that looks like. It's going to be this guy. And we can see now that we got an idea of what the block of the colors are going to be, but it's real janky. So we got to go in, we got to tune this up. And we got to make it look clean and crisp in the style that we're kind of going for, which is going to be a much more clean style. Because if I tried to do this that we see here, I would need like 17 more colors, and I just don't have them. So we have to make some really interesting choices here. So let's go ahead and get into that. I hope I'm not boring everybody. I don't think I am, but I hope I'm not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's focus on this back arm here. I don't know why, but this back arm I feel is going to be a really good place to start. So I'm going to move out my colors here so I can see what I'm looking at. I'm going to zoom in. We're just going to focus on this little muscular arm section here. And I'm going to kind of look back and forth. I'm just going to kind of see this. So what I can see, and again, this is where we got some color. So this is just our color blocking, by the way. Now we can start to kind of build up what we need and where. So one thing I noticed is that there's a nice shadow here that's going to kind of develop out. So I may want to, and again, may want to go ahead and possibly paint out a little bit more black. And again, this doesn't have to be that case, but I'm going to try it out. I want to see what's up. And what's cool about this is I'm not actually painting on the original outline. I'm actually painting on its own layer. So that way, if I don't like it, I can just turn it off. So I'm making choices here that are not permanent. I can start to kind of get a good idea. And what I'm seeing here is, and what you'll notice in all of these is really, well, this is actually a horribly colored version of the Sentinel, but it gives you a good idea of what the feet look like. In fact, I don't need that anymore because it's really kind of getting away from it. But this, you can see, it goes from this pink all the way into like a dark red. So we're going to have to kind of keep that in mind. And you'll notice I have some pinks down here. So what I want to do is I want to move one shade up in my reds. And I'm just going to start to kind of see what I can flesh out. So for this, I just want to kind of not necessarily paint everything, but I realize that most of this is probably going to get painted out with a much lighter color. And again, I can always go back. I can always get rid of this if I wanted to. So I can just kind of start to figure this out. And in fact, here, let me kind of show you exactly how easy this can be. So if I go ahead and fill this all in red, you might be going, why are you doing all this? I can erase what I don't need. So at this point, I just want to kind of like start to figure out where exactly I need these colors. And I can start to kind of like pull it back a bit. So, and again, we're going to use the reference because that reference is really going to give us a lot of good information. But we're going to have to make choices. So I can, again, take a look at it and I can start to see, okay, so at this point, I can see that there definitely should be at least one layer of dark red back here. And because we're trying to really sell that this is a big, thick piece of the pauldron arm, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to do two more, but I'm going to kind of scale it up a little bit. So I'm going to do it like so. And again, if I don't like this, I can always come back. I can always repaint. It's nothing permanent here. I can really start to get a good idea of what we're seeing here just by taking our time. And you'll notice that just by adding on this extra layer of color and then blending between them, you're going to start to see how quickly this is going to come together. And again, if I'm just looking and referencing, maybe I like it like this, just like so. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Do I want to go here? Do I not? No, I don't like that. I like that better. All right. So then there's going to be an implied muscle going on right here that we're going to paint in later. And then we definitely want to have a little bit more back here. Whoop. And we're just kind of filling it in. By the way, again, if you have any questions or if you have any comments or you want to just, put out some snark, feel free to snark. Like our friend Christina giving me crap for using a trackpad. I like my trackpad. I like having the ability. It makes me feel like I'm painting with like my fingers kind of. So, meh. But it's okay. She can bust my balls. She's known me for a long time, so.
No.
No? Okay, Laura said no, Christina. You can't bust my balls anymore. Got to answer to the wife. So you guys might notice that I'm all of a sudden just kind of just making weird choices. And that's because once you get an idea for anatomy, you can just start to figure out where you want the shading to be. You can kind of go like, yeah, I like that. And then we can just zoom out and just look at that. Just by painting in a little bit of that red and then deleting what I didn't want, you can start to see how it fleshes out, just like that. So we're going to keep that going. We're going to focus again back on this arm. And again, I'm going to look, kind of take a look and, you know, like, okay, I can feel where that's going. So I can kind of just do this. What are you humming back there? Okay.
I'm watching Neil.
Oh, watching me paint this out? Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I like that. All right. So now that we have that, we're like, all right, cool. So we can look at maybe adding on some more color. So, okay. One thing I have to take into consideration is the fact that we have a lot of little design going on up here. And this design is really good, but I forgot to add in all this little detail. So I can do one of two things. I can paint this in with color, which is fine, or I could stick to my pixel bit aesthetic, which is define major chunks with black and then use color to separate it out. So what I need to do is just for a little while, I need to pull this guy back down below. I want to turn off my color mapping just for a moment here, and I want to go back to black. What I want to do is I want to just take a look at this. I just want to take a moment. And in this case, it's not quite going the way I want it to, so I might have to manually, yeah, that's better.
I chewed the gum.
You did chew the gum.
Now I have to.
You have finished the gum?
Yep.
The gum is complete?
I don't chew gum for like 10 minutes, and then my mouth hurts, and I don't want to do it.
Fair enough. Yeah, don't give yourself lockjaw. Nice. Another thing, like if you like do something that exacerbates your jaw too much, you can go into lockjaw, right? Am I remembering that right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there we go. Added a little detail. And again, real quick, not a big deal. So now that we have our detail in, we can turn back on the color blocking. All right, now we can see where we're going to go. Go back up here. And again, we can just take a look at it, come back, take a look at it, come back. And so we can see that this very back area. So, and again, I can actually, something I like to do is sometimes I'll just kind of draw with my selection tool and I'll just let it naturally pick. So that's the area that I'm going to avoid. So people go, well, how are you going to avoid it if you just selected it? Well, I do what is called an invert. And an invert allows me to then paint backwards. And by painting backwards means I'm just going to paint the stuff that's not that. So now I can go ahead and I can just make this a little bit larger and I can start to paint it in just like so. And again, this is not permanent decision making. I can go back at any particular time and I can start to, you know, add in or take off as is needed. But sometimes the easiest way to add in some color blocking is to just simply grab an area, select it, and then color in around it.
You must own your bad decisions.
You must own your bad decisions, absolutely.
Never. Can never go back.
And you see right there, that automatically, see how quickly that makes it look like it has a nice little ridge to the back of it? It's just that simple. So there are ways of making it work a little bit more in your favor in certain ways if you want to. There's no right or wrong reason for it. But if you are really so inclined, you can go back through and just simply maybe tighten it up just a bit. You know, just tighten it up just a smidge, just like so. And yeah, I like that a little bit better. And that was just me tightening up that just a smidgen. And right now, we're just working on two colors. And notice how different this looks compared to the rest of it. And you see just how adding on that one extra color immediately makes it pop out. So if you've ever been curious about why that blocking is so important, this is why that blocking really makes a big difference here. So I hope that that's maybe kind of opening your mind to the possibilities of things that you can do with these designs, because it's really kind of cool. So on the back here, and again, we're going to ignore the head. We're going to just kind of ignore the head. The head will be the very last thing we do. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to like, all right, cool. And again, I'm going to use my lasso tool. And while this is on, I'm just going to kind of lasso this up and then just kind of do it something along the lines of that. And then I'll turn this off. And just like before, I'll invert. Whoop, and I was being stupid. Still being stupid. Too big. One more time. There we go. I don't have to clean up what I've already cleaned up, so I'm just trying to be a little less messy with my painting. There we go. And in this case, I feel like I need to give it a little bit more. Yeah, I like that a little better. Yeah. Oh, that was my ear.
I know. Tell me how cute you were.
Yeah, but you stuck your finger in my ear like a wet willy.
I mean, it is in the wet too. Because you didn't get a water off the counter.
Well, yay for me.
Good job, Sean.
You're welcome. Okay. So in this case, again, just like before, and since this is a color blocking situation, I'm just going to highlight that in red. And then what I want to do is I want to go back with my lighter red. I'm just going to fill this in real quick, just so that way we can start to dig in. Alrighty. Now we start to erase. So, and again, I'm just using this as a point of reference. So you can see that that hand is going to go over this area here. So I want to make sure I cast a shadow, just like this leg is doing. Even though the leg is not from the Sentinel, it's giving me a good idea that I want to really cast that shadow kind of going over this. So we're just going to turn that off for a moment, but I'm going to kind of let the shadow kind of play here for a moment. So I'll just kind of build it like so, and then I know the arm's going to come back like this. I think that's going to work out nicely. That other leg is back a little bit more, so we're not going to worry about that side right now. Yeah, okay, so I can turn that back off. So that means that we're going to go ahead and just get rid of that very back portion of this, just so that way we can see that we have a little bit of that shadow. And again, once we start painting in the purples and whatnot, it'll start to really take shape. But we're just semi-designing this. We're not committing to anything specific. We're just taking a look and having fun with it, and just kind of starting to figure out where we want everything to be. So that way we can start to like, all right, this is getting there. And one thing I tell people when they're working in Photoshop or they're working on anything really is don't be afraid to just go for it. The worst thing you can do is make a mistake, and then you just have to basically hit the undo button. So it's worth your time to just kind of experiment and see what you can do. Because if you do it right, you can actually come up with some really cool effects that you didn't mean to make. And it'll just be, you know, part of that piece. You'll be like, oh, that was a good signature piece. That'll really look nice. So in this case, I'm going to go up by 1. I'm just going to kind of there we go. And Laura is riding a wave right now. I'm not really sure what the wave is, but she's having a good time. What's the wave, sweetie?
Life?
Laura is riding the wave of life, and that's good because you know what? We've had a rough couple of years, and I'm glad that you're riding the wave of life, sweetie. That's a good thing to ride.
Hello, Daddy. Corday hasn't moved? Nope.
Everybody doesn't even know that you're not even been there.
She doesn't even know I've left.
Poor Corday. She's as deaf as a stump now. She's so deaf. Poor baby. But it is funny. So when we got Sasha almost 2 years ago, you might remember when we were doing our broadcast that Corday was having a hard time adjusting to having Sasha here. Well, now that Corday's hearing has gone a little bit more, she has learned that she can use Sasha as basically her detector. So Sasha lets her know what's going on, and then Corday will react appropriately. It's actually really adorable to watch because Corday will be oblivious to the world, doesn't care about anything, and then she realizes that Sasha is moving. And as soon as Sasha is moving, Corday goes into full alert mode. And
Sasha will walk over and boop her.
Sasha will actually come over and actually boop her and wake her up and go like, hey, move it. And then Corday is like, oh, something's happening. It's really adorable to watch now. At first, we were really sad because we realized that Corday's hearing was going. But now we realize that they've made this really cute symbiotic little relationship. So Corday, I don't know. I think Corday is okay with Sasha now, but I still think the jury's out, quite frankly. I think Corday's like, she gets to live for now.
She steps on her a little too.
Yeah, Corday steps on her a little bit, but you know.
Like literally walks over her.
Yeah. But Sasha's also gotten a bit vocal now that she's gotten a little bit older. She growls a little bit like, back off.
But it's not like Corday can hear her.
I think she can. I think she can hear the growl.
But she just gets really confused. She doesn't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that she's growling at her because she's standing on her.
Right. Yeah. So.
We have to like remove her physically off of Scotch.
Which is pretty freaking funny, actually. But she's starting to get it. But you know, but it is interesting to see Corday like adjust now and have. I'm feeling that. That's looking good. I feel like I need a little more shadow on this back part, though. I feel like I'm not quite getting the full sail of this. So I want to up that up just a hair. Yeah, I'm feeling that a little bit more. Anyways, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I kind of get lost in my own head here. So hopefully you guys are enjoying kind of like the process here.
You're learning something.
I think I've put everybody to sleep because I'm just kind of working. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Pixel ASMR.
It might be. This could just be people are just listening to me talk while we're working on this. I don't know. So let me see. What else is going on in Laura and Sean's life? We got into wrestling.
Yeah.
That's been funny. We've been starting to watch wrestling just because we need something silly to kind of take our minds off of life while we were working. And we're like, we just need something that's going to come on like all the time. That's not needed to be really followed too closely. That we just look up and go, oh, that was cool. And wrestling fit that bill pretty well. And we know a lot of people who like wrestling, like a lot of people. So I was like, all right, well, we'll watch wrestling. And we started.
So now everyone's like super excited that we watch wrestling.
Yeah, or at least the people who like wrestling are super excited that we watch it. So, but it's been pretty funny to kind of go through this because Laura and
I'm just chilling and listening.
Yeah.
That's from Cat Gangster.
Oh, is it?
I too am just chilling and listening.
But it started with documentaries. Laura and I started watching these documentaries because I was like, well, let's check this out. This is cool. And I would talk about all these things that would happen when I was a kid, and then we'd watch the documentary and they'd actually have it in there. Like, oh, this is a cool thing. And Laura was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And she became fascinated with the people behind the characters. Like, oh, this is great. So we started finding all these wrestling documentaries that were about the people. And then we found, like, what was it? Dark Side of the Ring, I think, was what really kind of started drawing you in.
Oh, yeah.
And so she really got into Dark Side of the Ring. And
Is that what we watched last night?
Yeah, that was what we watched last night with the Ric Flair thing, yeah.
With Ric Flair in utter denial that it ever happened.
Yeah.
Even though other people said he was walking around the cabin with his boo-boo out.
Yeah, so.
It's like, I deny that I ever did that. It's like, well, there were other people who said you did it all the time and they thought it was funny.
Yeah. It's so, like, this was known behavior for you.
It was known behavior. So for you to just be like, I didn't do that is a little, it would have been better for you to just say nothing than to deny something that other people saw you do.
But, you know, this is where people mess up, though. And we'll talk about this for a second. This is something that happened 20 years ago. And I get that. They're like, well, I've moved past this. Well, you know what? The person who you did that to, maybe not
and
have.
It was behavior that you've been doing since the 80s.
Right.
That your teammates
allowed.
Cheered you on to do.
Right.
Because they thought it was funny when you walked around in just your robe with your penis hanging out, you know?
And when you're doing that amongst people who understand the joke.
Yes, exactly. When you're doing that amongst your
peers,
who think it's funny and they're cheering you on. But if you're doing it in a place where there's other people, like on an airplane, where the flight attendant was very uncomfortable with what you're doing, just admit that, you know, I didn't think about her.
I was really shit-faced drunk because we sat on the tarmac for 7 hours.
On lots of drugs. And I was doing what I usually do with my friends.
It was inappropriate, and I apologize.
It was inappropriate for me to do with somebody outside of our inner circle in the presence of this activity.
Right. And that would have been it.
Honestly, to God, I would have thought that as a reason. Like, it was inappropriate. It was something you did amongst your friends. And you forgot that the stewardess was a human. You just saw her as somebody who brought you drinks.
Yeah.
You know?
Does that make it okay? No, but if you could just cop to it and say, hey, I apologize, that was inappropriate, and I've learned since then that that's not something cool.
Even though I don't remember it because
alcohol, whatever.
Like they said in the documentary, lots of alcohol was involved.
Right.
I don't remember those events, but I am very sorry to have made her feel the way she feels because it would never be my intention to do something like that to somebody else.
Right.
Period.
And that would have been the end of it.
And you could have just ended it. But like by denying it.
Oh, now it's like, oh, he clearly, yeah.
Like the way he denied it, I felt like, I mean, we're talking about a 90-something-year-old man here.
I mean, I think he's in his 60s, but yeah.
He was born in like the 30s or something.
Ric Flair was not born in the 30s.
I swear to God.
Do I gotta go Google? Hold on.
I'm going to Google.
Hold on, let me see. We're going to Google here. Hold on.
I'm going to Google. Hold on.
I'm already there.
Ric Flair.
He's 72 years old. He was born in 49.
Okay, so he's old as balls. And he was doing stuff since the 70s, you know?
Right.
He became a wrestler. That wasn't always the most appropriate.
Right.
And
it's okay to like be like, you know what, that was not cool. Yeah.
It was a different time. Things were different, and even now, what you do amongst your friends is what you do amongst your friends.
Right.
People probably do that now. Oh, if they're really good friends, walking around with their boo-boos out. I would never do that with my friends, but to each their own. But as soon as you introduce a stranger who is just there to do a job, and who was made to feel very inappropriate, that's where you went wrong.
Yep.
And you should just admit to your mistakes. I don't have a memory of it like that, but that does not excuse the behavior.
And I sincerely apologize.
I sincerely apologize. Blah, 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 blah. Move on. We're talking about something that happened in 2002.
Yeah. It's like just cop, just cop to it and be like, yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, I might have fucked up.
Yeah.
But I was on Quaaludes and
whatever the hell else they had on that thing.
Shots of tequila and I was on Vicodin and
whatever the hell.
I mean, they were on everything.
Yeah.
These wrestlers were on every known substance that could be had.
Yeah.
To get them through the day.
Does it make it okay? No. But is it understandable? Okay, fine. And then we'll just move on. It's not like the man has a professional wrestling career anymore. The man is super retired, so it's like, okay, fine.
He made his money.
Yeah, like Ric Flair has made questionable choices in the past, fair enough, moving on.
What is he, like a reverse mortgage spokesman now?
A reverse mortgage.
I swear to God, I saw him on a reverse mortgage commercial.
I do not know, but maybe.
Like, woo! You can get a reverse mortgage.
I mean, he might have been. He might have been. I don't know.
Hacksaw was my favorite as a kid because I would walk around and yell ho.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Did he walk around yelling ho?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He would ho. Yeah, it was a total Thundercats thing. The total Thundercats thing.
Okay.
By the way, it wasn't a Thundercats thing. I'm just being, silly. So, by the way, if anybody's curious what I'm doing, I'm painting on our third color now. And again, I'm just working on the highlights. So this is basically a pure red. Or as pure as red as we're going to go. And then we're going to start moving into a pink phase. And I might actually go back eventually and take this red out, and I might move it into a progressively more pink shade. But I tend to feel that the Sentinels have more of a darker red to them. So this is kind of like a play. I don't know. This is one of those, I'll look at it, and these colors are pretty accurate to what the final look will be. So if I feel happy with it when I'm done painting it, cool. And if I need to go back and make some tweaks, I can go back and make some tweaks. Not a big deal.
Oh, my neck.
Oh, that's good. You never get to pop your neck.
I know. My neck never pops.
Glad your neck popped. All right.
I leaned back to scratch my head.
And it went click.
And it went poop.
It went poop.
Oh yeah, but if you watch those documentaries.
Oh, Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring. I think it was Flight from Hell.
Yeah, it's called The Flight from Hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, watch it.
It's messed up.
So crazy, and people got fired over all this.
Oh yes.
People lost their contracts because
deservedly so.
I mean, if we're not talking about teenagers here, we're not even talking about 20-year-olds here. We're talking about people in their 30s who know how to act, and were just acting like they had never, I don't know, had a nice thing ever in their life and didn't know what to do in civilized society. And it was super embarrassing. If I was Vince McMahon and my name was on the bill for what they did to that plane,
yeah,
I would be pissed too.
And Vince McMahon had to pay out the nose.
Can you imagine what he had to pay?
And you know what?
They used seats as spittoons.
It's so nasty.
The little thing where you put stuff behind his
Your
seat.
magazine, yeah.
And the guy putting his chewing tobacco, spitting his chewing tobacco into it.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes.
And, like, vomit and God knows what else all over the place. They started fighting, and the lady was starting to get scared that they were going to, like,
to decompress the ship,
the bulkhead, the fuselage.
Yeah.
The fuselage might get dented because they were throwing 300-pound bodies into the plane wall. And, oh, my God.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
I said this last night. If I was that flight attendant, I would have walked out there and told everybody to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Not even kidding anymore.
I know. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Like, I was scared to cut them off. I would have been like, I would have cut their asses off. I would have been like, no for you.
You get nothing.
I am not scared of you. I told some woman on a flight once that she was cut off, and I wasn't even the flight attendant.
That's true. She did. Laura actually did do that. And people applauded. People applauded Laura.
I was like, that woman is cut off. Do not give them any more liquor. I need them to shut up. And yeah, everyone on the plane was just so happy.
Like, woo!
And they're like, fuck you. And I was like, when we get off this plane, we'll see if you still believe that. I'm pretty sure you'll need to get wheeled off this plane as drunk as you are.
All right, that's looking pretty good.
I am not scared of you, and I am not playing around.
So as this is coming together, you know, I know that everybody's always kind of curious, like what the process is. But was this what you guys thought it was, or is this lining up with what you just sitting around, like just painting little?
Jedi Greenest says the closest I've been able to get into wrestling is watching Glow on Netflix.
Oh, I love Glow. Glow is great.
You didn't even watch wrestling in like the 80s or the 90s. I don't know how old you are. I mean, you could be really young
and it has no point of reference. Yeah.
You don't remember watching wrestling in 1987.
Yeah.
Which I do. You know?
One of the things that I always remind myself is...
And those little rubber WWF figures that they used to make.
Oh, yeah.
They used to be the rubber ones.
Yep.
Not like the ones now. Where
they're not action figures. They're almost like Stretch Armstrongs.
Yes.
But they were like tougher. Yeah.
They
were tougher.
Hard.
Yeah.
They were hard as shit. You could beat each other with them.
Yep. You could. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, is that you would have Saturday morning cartoons, which I still wish kids could experience today. You know, like Laura and I always said, like, you know, if we ever had like nieces and nephews come over that were going to stay with us for a long time, like on Saturdays, we would do like Saturday morning cartoons. Like, okay, this is coming on, and this is what's going to be playing for the next couple of hours. And we would like curate cartoons for them to watch. And that would only happen on Saturday mornings. But because
you have to do it in your pajamas on the floor while you're eating cereal out of the biggest bowl you can find.
You got it. Like, there are rules. But so after that, at like 11:30 would come on WWF wrestling. So that would just be the natural thing I would watch after that. And, you know, earlier in the 80s, it would be, you know, other kind of wrestling. You know, it'd be like the Eastern, you know,
Cat Gangster never got wrestling in Sweden.
Oh, man. Well, you missed out. Wrestling. So the way I tell people, if you really want to know what wrestling is like, it's a soap opera for guys. It's really all it is. It's the same kind of plot devices you would see on a soap opera about men who just want to beat the crap out of each other so they can be the best.
It's soap opera with fighting. I wouldn't even say for guys, because that defines it as something that...
Well, I was talking about like in the 80s.
That defines it as something binary, and it's not.
Yeah, it's action soap operas.
Yeah. It's action sports soap operas where, like, people say wrestling's fake, and that's the thing that I think is really funny, is wrestling is scripted, and
the outcomes are predetermined.
In that the story, like who's going to be the bad guy, who's going to be the good guy, who's going to win the fight, things like that, that is scripted. But the actual fight itself, them hitting each other,
they beat the shit out of each other,
throwing each other on the floor and through things, that's all real. And their bodies really are getting impact damage, and they are bleeding, and they are breaking bones. That's real.
Now, the best are able to do that without hurting themselves.
But things happen.
But things happen, right? You know, but I mean, those guys are really, like basically.
When the guy took the elbow to the nose.
Yeah. Oh, and he broke his damn nose. Oh, yeah.
That's something that happened. So his nose got broken in the middle of a fight, and if you've ever had a broken nose, you know it bleeds like a son of a bitch.
And this guy was bleeding all over the damn ring.
He was
bleeding everywhere.
But the fight kept going. because he wasn't ready to stop. At any time, they could actually stop.
Of course.
But they really try not to because that breaks the...
What they call kayfabe.
That breaks it. And like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But they are actors, so they could play it in a way that you think it was supposed to happen. Like somebody else comes out and jumps in the ring and takes over the fight. So the fight never finishes. You know? Like, there's, I think, things they could do in those situations to make it not look like, oh, the fight is stopped, everyone stand around. You know, because
yeah. I mean, by the way, I'm moving to purple just because I want to switch it up. My eyes are tired of looking at red for a moment. So if anybody's curious why I just switched over to purple, my eyes were just getting a little tired of looking at.
Sometimes I wonder if that's why those things happen. You know, like in the middle of a fight, or when someone is about to fight and then something happens and they never get to fight. It's because maybe that person was injured.
Right.
But they didn't want to say they were injured. They just wanted to give them a couple of days off, but still put them in the ring so they're seen.
Right.
Like when Becky Lynch came out.
Yeah.
She was supposed to fight.
Well, it was another lady who was supposed to fight Brianna Belair.
Somebody else was supposed to fight her, but they never fought.
Yeah.
And it's like part of me wonders if like maybe that person was injured. And that's why they were like, this is the perfect time, let's do this. And they just sort of improvise.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. You never know that unless you're on the inside. But part of me kind of wonders sometimes.
Well, apparently they talk about this all the time. Like insiders talk all the time on like radio shows. So if we want to know what like all the dirt is, we could actually find out. Like we could listen to the radio shows and stuff. Like Sorrel told me like where we could go and listen to the radio shows and be like, we could get all the dirt.
I assume the podcast.
So there's all kinds of stuff we can listen to and be like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting.
But yeah, that it's totally crazy, and some of it's really stupid.
Oh God, it's so stupid.
Sometimes it's really stupid, and sometimes you can tell they totally missed like their hit, but they are just like, oh, let me fall over like I'm wounded, even though you didn't even touch them, and that's when it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And the announcers are like, oh my God. He's blah blah blah, but he didn't even get touched.
Well, you know, it's funny because I'll sit here and I'll watch it, and you know, I'm pretty hard on wrestling because like I've been watching it for a long time as a kid, so I know what I want to see, and I'm pretty much like, okay, if I don't see what I want, then I'm like, okay, this is not really going to stick with me. So when we were starting to watch it, I was like, none of these guys are really pulling for me because I love really great heels. Like heels, by the way, in case you're curious, is the bad guy of the show. So. The villains, right? So heels
are always better. Anyway.
Are always better. So I was ready for the heels. People were telling me, "Oh, you're gonna love, you know, this guy and this guy," and I was like, I don't like any of them. Like they because all they were doing was talking there, and I was like, these villains are crap. And the one that really got my attention was this guy called Bobby Lashley, who basically just he just comes out and he doesn't say anything. He's like a Terminator, and he's got a guy who hypes for him.
He's also humongous.
It's a big dude.
He's the size of like a bull.
Like, dude is seriously massive.
I mean, he's probably very tall too. He's probably 6'3" or 6'4".
It's a big dude.
But he's massive. His shoulders have to be like 4 feet wide.
He's got shoulders on shoulders.
It's unbelievable.
But so, like, I told people, I like Bobby Lashley, and they're like, well, what about this guy and this guy? And I'm like, I've watched them. They talk a lot of shit, but they're not doing anything in the ring. And quite frankly,
the guy with the water fetish.
Oh yeah, the Johnny Drip Drip.
He's a villain, right?
You know, I don't know if he's a face or if he's a heel. I can't tell you, quite frankly. I don't know if he's a face or a heel. So I'm still trying to figure that one out. But other people might.
I'm going with he's a heel.
You think he's a heel? So.
I think he's a heel. He's got moist. No, he's got the word moist carved in the side of his head.
He does.
Nobody does that unless they're a bad guy because they know people don't like the word moist. They're intentionally using a word they know people don't like.
I'll give you that one. But anyway, so yeah, so we've been watching wrestling just because it's just something funny that we can watch while we're like just working on pixels and whatnot. So we'll just turn it on, we'll just listen to it, you know. And it's funny because once you know the gimmicks, you know what's happening. It's like if an announcer ever says it's all over, folks, it ain't over. Like that's it, that's got to be it. No, it doesn't. That's never when it's it, is when they say that's got to be it. No, that they're just trying to build you up. And honestly, the best wrestlers are the ones who really sell this stuff. And the ones who are selling it that I thought were really interesting were the ladies on the WWE were really impressing me. I cannot overstate how much I've been impressed by the female wrestlers in the WWE. Their male contingent, yeah, okay. You know, like I think AEW is doing it better on the male side.
I'm in love with Rhea Ripley.
But yeah, Rhea Ripley is like killing it. Like when
I want to marry her.
When we started watching it, Rhea Ripley did this suplex, and she does it every single time. And I was like, her suplex is gorgeous. It is like the most picture perfect suplex I've seen in modern wrestling. Like, nobody does this move anymore. And I'm like, it is such a perfect suplex. Her legs go up in the right way. She's holding it. Like, she's got a perfect arch back. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, it's such a classic move. What was funny was when we started watching them, I was telling Laura, I was like, these women don't know how to sell their basic wrestling hits.
Like hits.
Like and I realized it's because they don't have the mass that guys do. Because when guys are hitting each other, they'll stamp on the mat, and they have these microphones underneath that amplify the sound. And the women, I mean, they're like what, at best 100 to 120, 130 pounds, except for, of course, the larger women. So for the most part, they just don't have the physical mass to make that smacking noise. And I was like, don't do that anymore. And sure enough, then there were these ladies that were coming out, and they're doing these acrobatic moves. And as soon as they stop trying to do these classic wrestling moves and they start like just like spinning around in the air and flipping off of each other, I was like, holy moly, these women are amazing. Very gymnastics-like. Yeah. And I was like, this is nice. And it's been really fun to watch. Like the amount of athleticism I'm seeing from these people are freaking crazy. Their stories are ridiculous. Like there's this one girl called Nikki ASH, which stands for Almost a Superhero. And she
looks like a bumblebee.
She does. She looks like a bumblebee. She's so freaking cute. And she's what, Scottish? She's Scottish or she's Irish?
She's Irish. She's
Irish. Just the cute as a button. And she's like, anybody can be a winner. Anybody can be, you know, a superhero. And you're just like, oh, you summer child, you know. And so they teamed her up with Rhea Ripley, who is kind of like the goth chick. So like that's a funny thing. And they've become kind of like best buds. And then Laura's favorite guys to watch on WWE is Riddle and RKO guy, whatever his name is. Bobby Orton, I think his name is. She loves that because Bobby Orton just keeps like trying to like tell him to like chill out and go away. And she's like, he just wants a friend. And that she was very invested in this kid. I say kid, the guy's probably like in his 30s. But she was.
He can't be older than 22. No way.
You think?
No way.
Okay. Well, anyways, Riddle is just this, you know, surfer dude. This bro.
Like IQ of 70.
Yeah, and literally his theme song is him going, bro, which we find eminently humorous. And so
he just rides around on a scooter.
On a little scooter, and he got Randy Orton a scooter, and then Randy Orton was like, this is a stupid piece of shit, I don't want it. And then he beats somebody in the head with it, and he goes, I love it. It's my favorite. So, like, those are the weird plots that you get in wrestling, and I'm like, all right, that's fun. And then on AEW side, you get like Chris Jericho fighting, what was it, MJF? We call him Burberry.
Burberry Boy.
We call him Burberry Boy. And we've been watching that just because, why not? And that's been a lot of fun. AEW's got some really good stuff going on. And we like that, what's her name, the dentist chick. What was it?
Britt Baker.
Is that it, Britt Baker? DMD or whatever? Yeah, she's fun. But yeah, it's been fun. It's just been a fun, silly thing to do. So if you get a chance to watch wrestling, you just want something stupid and turn your mind off and just enjoy something that's just going to be on without any kind of dedication.
It's literally a soap opera.
It's just a soap opera. You just watch it and you have fun. Like tomorrow, like what? Yeah, like literally, Laura and I, like, we have our stories now. So like we'll just record them, and then like in the weekend we'll just watch, like, you know, the entire freaking week's worth of wrestling because it's on almost every damn night.
Like Young and the Restless had people fighting.
Yeah.
Like.
And honestly, that's what you need in soap operas, right? You want like people beating the crap out of each other. I know I was most entertained when people get mad at each other and try to, like, you know.
When if you were a kid, you know, if your mom or your grandma will always every day watch them stories.
Oh, gotta get them stories.
And everyone was always fighting, but it was just like catty fighting.
But they never beat the crap out of each other.
No, it was just catty fighting.
Yeah.
So wrestling is like fighting, but like with actual fisticuffs.
And we appreciate that. Okay, so we've now.
Which is superior.
Yes. So now that we run everybody off, they're like, oh my God, they're talking about wrestling. Shut up.
Okay, totally same. Until like a month ago.
But it's just something silly and stupid to do. That's starting to look really good. But I will admit I'm starting to run out of steam here, so I might be calling it fairly soon. I'll just keep working on it, and I'll make sure to show you guys the final product before I make it, but that's getting pretty close to what I'm envisioning as far as like color palette wise.
Master says, as far as I know, it's choreographed. They don't hit as hard as they can, and they know how to land, so it looks more violent than it really is.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It is. It honestly, what it is it's a stunt person show. These are stunt men and women who train very hard to make it look like they're beating the living crap out of each other, but they're able to take it. But even with all that training, they're still hurting each other. I mean, you know,
some people can get.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Absolutely, you know, but I mean, these are stunt people. That there is no other way to put it. These are stunt people who have choreographed and trained themselves. And the thing is that people go, oh, it's choreographed. Yeah, they practice with each other to know what each other's moves are. But when they're in the ring, they just go for it. And they just basically tell each other, like right before they're going to do a move, hey, I'm going to do this move on you. And they're like, okay. And they have to remember what that move is entailing. And if they screw it up, they can get seriously hurt. I mean, you know, it's just like a stunt team, you know, except they're doing it live like 6 days a week. You know, and that's the thing that drives me freaking like batty as far as like conceptually is that there are shows that they do. And I think it's either this weekend or next weekend. They're going to be in town in Charleston, and they're doing a show like the WWF is doing a show. Sorry, WWE is doing a show here in town, and it's what they call a no-show. It's a house show. They're not actually going to show any of it on the air, which means that somebody could go out and they could do whatever the hell they want to. And this is how they figure out their storylines, you know, for like the air. But like they're going to try just as hard to beat the living hell out of each other. And if they screw it up, like that person's down. Like there's not going to be a situation where they're going to be okay. And that's a really scary idea if you think about it.
Contractors, so if they're down, they don't get paid.
Yeah, actually, I don't think that's true anymore. I think WWE now has insurance for them because of what CM Punk did all those years back. I think he actually was able to get that changed, or at least the industry changed because he called them out on it. I believe. I could be wrong on that, but anyways.
I mean, just because they get health insurance doesn't mean they get paid.
What do you mean, as far as like paid health insurance?
No, like if they're not performing, a paycheck.
Yeah, I don't know how their compensation packages work like that. I really don't know.
I assume they were pay for play kind of things. I don't really know.
I know some contracts they get paid no matter what, which is why they have to get them back out there. But I don't know. Again, that's
why they make so much merch and endorsements, because that's probably where they make the majority of their money, really.
Probably.
All the T-shirts that they sell with their face on it and their action figures.
I mean, we were watching the Macho Man Randy Savage documentary, and they were talking about the fact that Macho Man was pulling in back in the 90s like $500,000 to $750,000 just on his licensing, just on him, you know, licensing out his persona, not even like his Slim Jim money.
I'm pretty sure you can still buy action figures of him.
Probably, you know, but like that was the kind of money he was making back in the 90s, which is significant by today's standards. I mean, it's like, what the heck? Like, that's crazy.
We were in Walmart in the toy section last week looking for plushies, and I mean, they still sell Steve Austin action figures.
Yep.
So he hasn't wrestled in years. You can still buy one.
Yep.
You can still buy his T-shirt.
Yep. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking really nice. Okay, so I think I'm hitting a spot. I want to save. I haven't saved in a while. So I'm going to hit that save button.
Yeah, you better hit that save button.
Hit that save button, because that was a lot of work that we just did. Okay.
Devastating.
So let's take a look at where we ended up for the night, because I'm running out of steam here.
Jedi Greedo says it's looking pretty great already. Definitely interesting in seeing how it gets finished.
Yeah, so I want to go back and I want to split screen this here so that way you guys can see me, and we'll kind of wrap it up here. So, but yeah, so here, I don't want to make myself that small, so here, I'll do it like this. All right, cool. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to stop for the night on this one. It's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with where it's ending up at. I think we're getting to a place that's really starting to pop where I want it to be. And as you can see, there's still a lot to do. If we're looking at what we saw before, I've got at least 3 or 4 more purples I got to lay in. Then I got to come back in. I got to start painting with my pinks, and I got to highlight all the way up to the white. So there's still a lot to do here. And it's going to take a little while to do it. But that's the thing, is that as you build up, you can see where we started. And again, just to show you guys, this was color blocking. This is where we started. So we started all the way from building a sprite from a bunch of different elements here. And here, let me go back. I'll go back to full screen here real quick. So that way we can really look at this for a second. So hold on, let me just. So, hey, Ty, how you doing?
He always jumps on just at the very moment.
Ty has like a sixth sense. Okay, so let's talk about where we started at here. Okay, so I want to go full screen. So we started here, right, which is basically me cobbling together about 3 different pixels and just kind of rescaling them and making them look all janky, and this is not a good place to go. And then from there, what we did is we went ahead.
Alice says the shoulders are growing on her, and Ty said question mark.
And so, okay, so Ty, what we're doing is Callie has ordered here. Let me, okay, for scale. So that Wolverine is what a normal pixel bit looks like. Callie has ordered a Sentinel to go with her pixels. So this is what we're doing. We're building her a Sentinel, and I promised that when we got to this point, I would actually build it. I would actually let them see how I design, since it's going to be so large. So that's what we're looking at. So that's what a normal pixel is. You know, my normal pixels now are more like this size, but you know, you get a good idea of what we're looking at scale wise here. You can see it's massive. It's a huge piece that we're building here. Each one of these little squares, these checkerboards, is one board. So you can see it's going to be massive, but it's going to look great. So what we're doing is we started off with me just grabbing some elements and just kind of saying, okay, this is where we're going to end up. This is what we're going to work on. And I liked it. I was like, all right, that gives me an idea of what I'm looking at, but I need to start to build it up. So we then went ahead and actually sketched out what the outline was going to look like. Then we went ahead and color blocked it. Okay, so we just laid down the basic colors, like, all right, that looks good. And then we started painting in all the rest of those pieces. Now, as you can see, while it has a lot of DNA from this, it is vastly different. We're now really taking it to our own thing. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to build this up. We're going to continue to make it. And by the end, you're going to definitely know, okay, this was inspired by that other piece.
I want to know where Callie's going to actually put this.
She has a bookshelf, and she's going to put it on the top of the bookshelf.
I mean, how tall is the bookshelf? Because your ceilings might not be high enough.
It's going to be a big piece. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, Callie might have to do some serious rejiggering, but that's a Callie problem. And I told her it was going to be huge, and she was like, don't care. She was like, I want it. And I was like, are you sure? I showed her the scale. I said, this is how big a Wolverine is. This is how big this thing's going to be.
She can hang it on the wall.
Seriously, she can. I mean, she could if she wanted to.
It would be frameable.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we didn't put the supports in, but we are designing it to stand.
Yeah, but it is going to be one solid piece, so the support mechanism can just be not used if she wants to. She could, so
technically you could frame it.
Yeah, she could frame it if she wanted to. The supports she never has to actually put on if she wants to.
I think it would look really dope frame.
I think so too. So I'm going to keep designing this. I don't think anybody really cares to watch the next part of this, you know, as I kind of continue to build it up. But I promise you, I'll show you what it finally looks like in the end when I'm done working on it. I'll try to work on it maybe some this weekend and show it to you guys. More than likely, I'll start working on some other projects. I have my lists, so if anybody's curious. So here we go. Okay, so this is my list of stuff I got to make for C2E2 in the next 3 months. And these are my custom orders. So I got a lot of custom orders to make, but not nearly as many as I thought I would have to make, which is nice. And those are actually double spaced versus the other ones are like, whew. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna be also really cool. So I'm looking forward to putting all this stuff together.
I have 2 baby Yoda jars to make and some flasks.
Yeah, Laura's got some baby Yoda jars.
My supply gets here.
Yep.
Callie says I have.
Oh, I got the chat up now.
3 feet plan. That plan is gone.
Yes.
Yeah, you might want to consider a frame.
Yeah, you might want to consider framing it. I mean, yeah, I don't know, but you'll have the stand if you want it, and if you don't, then you can do something else with it. I would want to make a shadow box with the panorama with the X-Men. That would be cool. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we're working on. So there's a lot of. Would you quit?
A shadow box would look really cool. We've talked about doing some.
I actually have shadow boxes here.
We bought some at.
I just haven't had the chance to develop that more.
Michael's a couple months ago when they were having a frame sale. Because normally the frames are like $60 a piece.
Yep.
And they had them buy 2 get 1 free. And then the 2 that we bought were 50% off. So we bought 6.
Yep.
And
hi Laura in the background.
So we have 6 shadow boxes sitting in there. They're not, I think they're 11 by 14. So we wanted to do something special with those. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I just haven't had the time. I've been making the pixels so fast that I've been focusing on pixels, but that's okay. That's not a problem. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. But yeah, as you can see, it's been a lot of fun here. I'll put it back up here in case anybody wants to look at it again. So let me do there we go. All right, so you can see, but it's coming along really nicely, you know, and again, it's just time. At this point, it's just time. You guys can see the work's there. We're just cleaning it up. And and so Ty's like, she can set up a little corner and set them all up as a battle stage. That is literally what she wants to do with this. And she's been talking about it for 2 years. She has been talking about how all she wants is to get all her X-Men and then have a Sentinel to fight against them. And then at that point, she's got the problem of, I now have blinged versions of certain characters, so she's gonna have to start upgrading the old school characters too. Like I have a new Wolverine design.
Oh my gosh, Sean, you're like a drug dealer.
I am a little bit, right? Like, so that Wolverine right there, like, right, hold on, it's like this Wolverine is an out-of-date Wolverine. He don't look like that no more, okay? Like, that's not what my Wolverine looks like anymore. My Wolverine is much different. In fact, here, I can, where is it? JoJo. Hey, you guys want to see a JoJo that I did? That's really cool. Here, I'm working on a JoJo Bizarre Adventure piece. Here, we'll go. This is actually really cool.
Yep.
No. Okay, well, my bad. So that's my JoJo in the world, Dio in the world. So I've been working on that one.
Get that stupid theme song stuck in my head again. No.
I didn't say anything. I didn't. So we got that one, and of course, you know, we have like the old classics. So that's King Diamond, or not King Diamond. That's Diablo King, and then of course you got like Stardust, and then you got Diamond. But yeah, I wanted to have a nice villain to go with it. So that was a cool piece I was working on. Let me see. Where was that Marvel piece? Hold on.
Pretty sure all the JoJo things sold really fast too.
Oh, my JoJo is sold super fast. I was like, whoa. All right. So yeah. So Callie, get ready. We're gonna give you a little preview of some stuff here. So hold on. So here comes some of the new stuff. All right. So you remember your old Gambit, right? That Gambit. I've now made a blinged version to go with your Rogue. So there's our new Gambit. Look at that sexiness. Oh, that's so nice. Look at that. That's so good. So we got that bad boy. But it's like, oh, well, look, what about Wolverine? That's the new Wolverine. So yeah, they've gotten, but you want to see, I haven't even had, this one hasn't even been made yet. I just designed it and I haven't had a chance to make it. This, my Nightcrawler, the new Nightcrawler design. Look at that. Is that not the coolest freaking thing? I love that Nightcrawler. I am losing my freaking mind over the Nightcrawler. I'm like, what? But yeah, so.
That Gambit. Ooh.
Oh yeah, here, let me go back to the Gambit. Gambit, ooh. And that Wolverine looks really cool. Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to.
2 years, it's been worth it.
Right. So we're working on that, getting all them done. But yes, so they're a little bit bigger now, but they're still in good scale with this. So, and you can see we got a lot more colors to lay down. There's a lot more work to do on this, but it's detail work at this point. And it'll come together quite nicely. So it is a lot of fun. But yeah, there's a lot of new designs coming up. There's a new Cyclops I'm making that we'll have, which is going to be great. Laura hates Cyclops, but he sells, so he's getting made.
Oh, I hate him so much.
Eventually, I'm going to make a new Phoenix, but I really like my Phoenix design. So wait, so did also make her a Perler stage, as in the city mountain area that they fought them in? Is that even possible to make such a stage?
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer to that is it's probably better for me just to design it and then like send her the file and have her print it up as like a poster board or something. But yeah, in theory, I could make her a gigantic set.
That's what we talked about for the shadow boxes, is to actually design it in 2D.
Yeah.
And put it in the back of the shadow box.
Yeah.
And then put the Perlers in the front of it.
Right.
And you would get the depth from the art being placed back away from the Perlers.
And then I would put a little LED light around it so that way it would illuminate too, so that would have a nice light to it. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on with that. I just haven't had a chance to really sit down.
All the things we have talked about,
yes,
but have yet to do.
Okay, you guys have been,
because life is hard.
I don't think life is hard. I think it's just we have a lot of creative ideas, and then like Laura says, hey, let's make kits, and I'm like, okay. And so now we're making kits for people. So you know, it's like, what's going to make us more money? And quite frankly, that's always a factor, is what's going to make us more money. Making our pixels, doing the kits, or really taking a lot of time away from that and working on a shadow box, and I can only make 6 of them. And yeah, I might be able to sell them for like $70, $80 a pop or something, but is that worth all the time we're going to invest in it? And right now, our investment in time, we're moving more towards the let's focus on making the kits, let's focus on making the Perlers, and then we can kind of come back around, and if we have some time, then we can look at making those those shadow boxes. They're not going anywhere. The shadow boxes are there, so I can make them whenever I want to, just as a fun thing. So I'm not too worried about that, but yes. But yeah, that's a little fun thing. So yeah, but the Callie, 2 years has been worth it. Yeah, she's been just foaming at the mouth, waiting to get a chance to get this gigantic Sentinel, and it's coming along really well. So I think it's going to be really cool once we get to that part, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this.
We have another huge one to design too.
Well, that one's actually already pretty much designed though. That's the Mangamalo. What the? Hold on.
Something.
It's Mangamalo Monster Hunter. Magnamalo.
From Monster Hunter.
From Monster Hunter, yeah. So, yeah, I'm making that for our buddy Donald. That's another big piece, but it's not quite as big as this Chonka Chonka.
And then when it's done, he's going to send his Tesla. Pick it up.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's just going to...
Except that the Tesla can't drive itself.
Right here, I'll show you guys what it is.
But it can't drive itself without him in the car.
So basically, we're making a. You guys don't have my share screen. Sorry, hold on. I forgot to share my screen. So there we go. So I'll be making that. That'll be one of our future projects. Well, I got a Psylocke design. I mean, I can make you a Psylocke. That's not a problem. So that's easy enough. But yeah, so that's the next thing. Is the next super big design is that. There's a couple more big designs. Let me see. What other big designs do we have coming up? That I'm going to be making over the next couple months.
Some of the custom orders seem pretty big.
Some of the custom orders, well, yeah, I mean, they paid enough for them. So let's see here. One is going to be, so if you're a big fan of Final Fantasy VI, Sabin, when he suplexes the Phantom Train, I'm doing that. That's going to be crazy. Let's see here. There's also a large Final Fantasy VI Kefka in his Jester form that I'm making. Where the hell is it? I'm looking for it. It's shit. There it is. Curran Lagan, as I'm also doing a Curran Lagan. So that's going to be another big one. Those are my 3 other big pieces. So I have 5 big pieces that I'm going to make. Each one of them take about a day to actually pixel out and then, you know, tape and everything. So, but that's where we are. So, oh, here, let me go back to kind of at least that. So, but yeah, that's where we are right now. So I do hope that everybody has enjoyed this. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, go back and you can kind of watch through the whole thing. And don't forget, like, that first half hour of this broadcast is us just showing you all the pixels that we ordered in order to make all these pieces. It was a lot, but it's really exciting.
33 pounds worth.
33 pounds of pixels. It was a lot of pixels, folks. But I'm really excited by it, and we've had a lot of fun. I do hope that everybody has had a good time with us tonight. That was a lot. And yeah, that's where we are. So again, just to kind of like remind everybody where we are. This is where we left off. So next time, hopefully, it'll be done, and you guys can, you know, be really excited by that, and finally see what the final is going to look like, and then I'll have to build it board by board by board, which will be a whole nother monster.
I think the kids are back outside. Isn't it kind of late for kids to be running around outside?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. Those kids should go to bed. But yeah, so without any more ado, Laura, anything else before we get out of here?
No.
No. All right. So everybody, stay safe out there. You know the deal. Keep washing your hands. You know, wear a mask if you can. You know, go get a vaccine if you feel that it is appropriate for you. And if not, make sure to wear that mask. Just try to be safe, because we want you to keep coming back. We love seeing your faces. We love seeing you chatting with us. Ty, we'll try to do more late night shows or early shows. You let us know when's best, and we'll try to put a show on so that way you can come and join us, because I know you're upside down sometimes on schedule. But yeah, that's it. So everybody have a fantastic night. My brain is fried. It's mush. I'm going to go to bed. Big hearts, big love. There you go. Bye, Laura. And yeah, I really need to do an outro thing here, but we're going to do the starter countdown just because that's what I got. And then when it gets to 0, we'll get out of here. So guys, again, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one, and just take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you next time.